say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you for the like. Let me go ahead and put myself up on here. All right, add myself. There we go. And I got a very interesting guest. He's been on the show. He's my mod as well. And I'm going to let him introduce himself. That's the way I like to do it. I'm going to go and put him here as well. There we go. All right, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of that shared screen there. Like I'm showing myself twice here. All right, and I got myself here twice. Hold on for one moment. Let me do this here. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Showing up here twice. Hold on for a minute here.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Let's do this. I probably don't even need myself on here twice. All right, let's go ahead and get myself on out of here. All right. I got a mega here. Let me go ahead and get myself on out of here. All right, I got myself up here twice. Hold on for a minute, boy. I tell you.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do here. All right, and then we're gonna put Omega there. I'm gonna put myself here. All right. That I guess that'll have to work. Okay. All right. So I got myself as guest here. Hold on for a minute though.
Oh,
I got it
jeez.
backwards. All right, let me do this here. All right, guys, just give me a minute here. All right, let me see here. All right, we got the guest. So there we go. That's better. All right. Okay, ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen. All right. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G in the house. Me just that microphone. Yep. So Tony Love. Yep. G Love. Right. But at any event, I have a guest here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go right ahead, Omega.
Yep, I've been around here for a little while. Name's Omega Assets. It's basically I studied martial arts for many years, and what happens is that Rasetsu was a nickname that was given to me because of my skills in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay, it sounds real cool there, man. I remember you was giving me the background on that name though. As like I said,
Yeah.
he can speak a lot of Japanese. I only know some stuff though. We got Black Guy 9 in the house though, man, showing support. We're gonna get into it though. I'm just recognizing some people. We got Payne in the house. He's got down here the orange. Oh man. Oh my gosh. It's like, nah, MAGA supporter. Nah, that's okay though. We got a lot of other ones that are gonna be coming in the room. This is gonna be a banger, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, we have Omega in the house. I always call him Omega. He's also my mod as well. And he ran a YouTube podcast show way before I did, and things. So we're going to get into it, though, and things, and go right into it. So go right ahead. Without further ado, though, I'm going to give you a little proper introduction. And take it away, Omega.
Well, I mean, for starters, a lot of people have this misconception that the black people were always with the Democrats, which is absolutely not true. In fact, we've been bamboozled. We've been bamboozled by these white liberals. See, I subscribe to the Malik Shabazz
Hold on for one
ethics
moment.
in
Hold
terms
on
of
hold on for one moment, Omega. He said that you're echoing.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and fix that. This should stop it. Let me go ahead and turn that on. That was unchecked. And all right, it says, let me see here, turn off audio processing. All right. Now, this may disconnect you, but you can hit the link to come back up. So, because I got to turn it off to keep you from echoing. Let me do that right now. Disconnect guests. I'm going to wait for Omega to come back on. And I appreciate it, though, Black Guy 9, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the like, too. All right. I see him coming back right now. All right. And Black Guy 9, is he okay? Go ahead and say something there, Omega. See if you're echoing.
Okay. Am I echoing now?
Okay, go ahead. But Black Guy 9, is he echoing now? Just gonna wait on his response here. All right, you guys, let me know if we or he are echoing. I should not be because I got my headphones on.
Right. I'm just connected via network.
Okay. Still echoing. Are you okay? So, do you have your speakers on, Omega, at home?
No,
just
I'm going through my headset.
Okay. Yeah, still echoing. He said still echoing. Okay. Thought I turned the process.
All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll completely disconnect and then I'll reconnect. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Let's see here.
All right. We're gonna wait for Omega. He says still okay. Black Guy 9 says still hear the echoing. Okay, I appreciate it. We're gonna try it again, and yeah, cause I got mine. I'm echoing. Am I echoing as well too, Black Guy 9? Am I echoing as well? Might be the headset. Okay. You said it might. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I got another thing I'm gonna do. Let's do this here. I'm gonna turn that off. That should be better now. All right. Black Guy 9, are you still hearing the echo now? I turned something else off. It should be clean now. Let's see here. Okay, Anthony Hale says no. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like I hear myself on your end, though, Omega. Is that your headphones or your speakers, You said not from you. Okay. All right. Yeah, if you got your speakers or whatever, Omega, turn those down or whatever. And then should.
All right, can you hear? Can you guys hear an echo now?
Yeah. Can y'all hear an echo coming from Omega? Anthony says no.
Okay.
Let me see here. Yeah, I don't hear anybody saying anything though. So, all right, think we should be all set. So, yeah, Anthony Hill says no. Okay, so we're good. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. I appreciate you,
All
Black
right.
Guy Nine. So we're gonna go in the origin of the Democrat Party and so forth. No echo from Omega. Okay, cool. All right. All right. So yeah, Omega, I'm gonna
Uh,
give him the floor and go right ahead, man. Mm-hmm.
okay. Now, as I was saying before, um, I subscribe to the political ethics of Malik Shabazz. You might know him as Malcolm X. I personally don't trust a white liberal further than I can throw one. Okay. And the problem is that most of the Democrats, most of the black Democrats, guess who they are kowtowing to? They're kowtowing to these white saviors, the white liberal. Okay. Now, by no means do I, support or agree with the other things of earlier Malcolm X. I mean, I don't agree with any of that, but he was technically true about the white liberal. Okay. And oh yeah, Tony, I'm going to correct you on something you said yesterday. And that thing was that the awful AWFUL, affluent white liberal urban female.
Thank you.
Okay. They tend to want to treat us black men like we are their pets, okay, or their pet projects. I'm sorry, I'm not a pet project of some overbearing liberal white woman. I'm sorry, that doesn't work with me. Okay, now that being the case, let's go back to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Prior to 1964, the Republicans footed four civil rights bills, right? Four civil rights bills, okay, from 1947 all the way to 1959. And each and every time, not a single Democrat voted in favor of it,
Mm-hmm.
including LBJ himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
so let's dispel that myth right off the top. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
LBJ did not want a civil rights bill. In fact, conspiracy theories suggest that JFK was thinking about doing something with Bobby Kennedy for civil rights, but the things that he was proposing was similar to the 1959 Eisenhower Civil Rights Act, and that, along with the fact that he kind of sort of pissed off the banking cartel with Executive Order 11 11 11 10, right? With those two things in mind, well, we know what happened in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being the case, that basically put LBJ in the driver's seat, but he wanted to stay in the driver's seat for the 1964 election.
Mm-hmm.
As it stood, Goldwater had the superior advantage. The problem is both parties were quote unquote disenfranchising black people. Both parties. Okay.
Right.
The Republicans were taking a stance more like, well, we're not going to do all of these government subsidies and stuff like that. We want a civil rights act for you so we don't have to give you all of these subsidies. Democrats will just F you. That's literally the Democrat stance when it came to it. But it took Martin Luther King to want to start the Black Workers Party, which, okay, I'm going to burst a lot of people's bubbles here. It was socialist, it was borderline communist. Okay.
Right.
So Martin Luther King tried working with Malcolm X. Malcolm X wanted something closer to libertarianism,
Mm-hmm.
and Martin Luther King wanted something closer to socialism because he was working with a lot of these free riders and stuff like that, which were a bunch of atheistic Jews. Okay, atheistic Jewish people who don't believe in Yahuwah. They don't believe in God at all. The funny thing about Jewish people is once they stop believing in God, they start believing in communism. As funny as that may sound,
Right.
but the thing is, Um, oh crap! I knocked my plate over. You called me when I was eating dinner. But any rate, you know what? Let me get rid of this. But any rate, the fact of the matter is, um, the fact of the matter is that he wanted to win against Goldwater by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way he could do it was the gateway drug. He needed the black vote. The black vote wasn't for him. In fact, the black caucus was actually trying to build their own political party and set up their own um, senators and congressmen. In fact, I recommend anyone who doubt me to get the book all the way with it with LBJ. Okay, get the book.
Mm-hmm.
I have the first edition myself.
Right.
Okay, with the famous line still in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the line was taken out after the second one, and you know what line I'm talking about. I have them
Mm-hmm.
ends. Yeah, I have them ninjas voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Yep.
That was actually in the first edition.
Mm-hmm.
They took it out of the first. They took it out with the second edition.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that being the case, right? You have that. You have the fact that they were basically this is hilarious. You have the fact that they basically needed the black vote in order to win against Goldwater because
Mm-hmm.
as it stood, Goldwater was killing them, right?
Right.
So once that happened, they met with Martin Luther King. That was about the time he got mad and said that famous line. The deal was that he would revamp the 1959 Civil Rights Act into what is now known as the 1964 Civil Rights Act in order to secure the black vote.
Right.
The problem is the Democrats weren't having any of it. So what did they do? They ended up taking out quite a few clauses that were put in place that would have helped empower black people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so here's one. You saw I was dealing with my phone. I had to pull up some notes. I just forgot what I
Right.
did with them.
Right. Right.
Okay, so let me see. 19 civil. Okay, got it. uh, toothless prosecutor. Okay, one such of them, one such deal was the toothless prosecutors. Um, in 1957, the Eisenhower administration tried to pass the Civil Rights Bill with actual enforcement teeth, specifically a provision called Title III that would have given Attorney General the power to actively sue states that were violating civil rights.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the Senate Majority Leader at the time, Lyndon B. Johnson, knew that if the bill had any friction, the Southern voting bloc would revolt and destroy the future chances of becoming president. So LBJ actively gutted the bill.
Mm. Okay.
He stripped out the enforcement powers and left as the completeless piece of PR legislation. They did the exact same thing with the 1960s, well, 1959. I don't know why I put 1959 Civil Rights Act. It was pure political theater, passing passing the bill just so they could say that they could pass a bill. Okay,
Right. Right.
and they finally passed the bill in 1964 with all of those provisions removed, right? But with a lot of pork barrel spending,
Mm-hmm.
you know, pork barrel spending attached to it. Uh, let me see here. The 1964 Civil Rights Act didn't have a lot of spending bill earmarks. However, it didn't operate on pure morality. It operates on leverage. The bill passed, and the Senate, excuse me, passed,
Whoops.
and
Sorry about that. That was by
oh, what
accident.
happened?
I just posted up something that was by accident. I got a guy
Oh,
that's
okay.
spamming in the room. Hey, before you say anything else, Black Guy 9, if you're still on moderating, and you have my permission, anyone that's spamming, especially with the rules, they can't say pedo and Trump, anything to do with any of that type of stuff because it disrupts the live stream though. So if you are on, you have to you already know what to do. You already a mod. Just go on and take them out. But go ahead, dear Omega. Mm-hmm.
but there were a lot of there were a lot of little pork barrel gimmies that were added into it, such as promising reluctant senators for
Yeah.
federal funding on local dams, military contracts, and public works projects in their area. The pork wasn't. It was part of it was in the bill, but part of it wasn't in the bill.
Hmm.
But at but at the end of the day, what happens is that in order to get the bill, in order to get the support for him to pass the bill, right? He had to put in a bunch of crazy stuff that didn't necessarily help anything. In fact, a lot of people say that Charlie Kirk was racist about, saying that the 1964 and 1968 Civil Rights Acts were flawed. He was absolutely correct. They were flawed. With the flaws that were added in it, that gave well enough wiggle room to where we can have a Ketanji Brown Jackson that doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman could actually sit back and say, well, this legislation for a woman actually is suitable for Joe Blow Smuckatelli, who just named himself Jane and decided to wear a dress and still has his beard.
Right.
So the thing is that the Civil Rights Act with Title III and Title VI, as well as Title IX, okay, with those three titles and everything like that, it became a crap show, to be honest with you. And the thing is that it just took about 40 to almost 50 years before those chickens came home to roost.
Right. Yeah.
But, but in the meanwhile, right? Meanwhile, okay, we got you this civil rights bill. Give us your vote, ninjas. And guess what? Just like fireflies to the flame,
Hmm.
black people have been giving our vote to Democrats ever since. I mean, think about it this way, okay? What has a Democrat done for you? Okay, Detroit, Michigan, okay, Chicago, the black areas, or however you want to put it.
Right.
Eh, yeah, you know, just vote for us, and maybe we'll do something about it. And then when you do vote for them, they do nothing, only to use it as a wedge issue in order to get you to vote for them again. Oh well,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do this because Donald Trump. Or I
Hmm.
couldn't do this because that guy over there is on a different political paradigm, and I just could. They kept blocking me. Um, it's funny how that's the excuse when it's something that the constituency wants, right?
Right.
But let's take gabbing nuisance for example. I call
Hmm.
him gabbing nuisance. He talks a lot and he's a nuisance. Okay,
Hmm.
gabbing nuisance. What did he do? He created a what's that called again? A COVID ban. I
Hmm.
mean, a COVID lockdown.
Hmm.
The legislature says, "Hey, you can't do that." Supreme Court says, "Hey, you cannot do that." And guess what he does? He does it again, but reworded it so that it has to go through trial again. But meanwhile, it's going through the trial. You have to abide by the edict. So the thing is that when the people want something, the Democrats don't have that tenacity. But if it's something that they want, and that's not just Democrats, it's Republicans too. Let's just
Hmm.
be honest. It's any
Right. Right.
politician,
Right.
all
Right.
of the politicians.
Yep.
When it's something that they want,
Hmm.
right, and the public don't want it, they'll do it. And then when the Supreme Court or whoever the case say that they can't do it, and it gets dissolved, what do? They do it again, but reword it so that it has to go through the motions of trial again.
Right.
But when black people say, "Hey, could you stop the violence in our city? Hey, could you do this for us? Hey, could you do that for us?" Yeah, take a number. We'll get to you in a second. I mean, look at what Biden did with Ice Cube.
Hmm.
Look at that.
Right. Yeah.
Ice Cube wanted to have a meeting with Joe Biden about X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
Okay,
Remember that. Yep.
and got completely blown off.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
when Ice Cube went to Trump, guess what? Trump said, "Come on down. I'll listen to you."
Yep. That's correct. That's correct.
Granted, Trump didn't do everything that Ice Cube wanted,
Right.
but
Of
he did
course.
listen.
Yeah. Yeah. He did. Yep.
You know,
Hmm.
he did listen. So the thing is
Thank you for
that
the light.
so the thing is, and you really got to consider this. Okay, who's really on your team? If you're sitting here, see, I'm, as you may know, Tony,
Mm-hmm.
I am on team screw the politicians. I don't take sides with any politician.
Right, right,
Okay,
right. Yep.
I'm even I am partially skeptical of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm
Right.
partially skeptical of him.
That's
So
fair.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
healthy dose of cynicism when it comes to all of these politicians because at the end of the
Sure.
day, they not a single one has your interest in mind. They
Right.
don't give a shit about us. Excuse my language. They don't give a
Yes. Oh,
crap
I got
about
you.
us.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a crap about us. All they care about is, will you vote for me? Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Now I can continue my career on your dime.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
that's all they care about. But then you got all of these little lunatics that come into the chat room talking about some, oh, Trump pedo, Trump this, Trump that. You know what? You guys are fighting in favor. You guys are fighting in favor of a bunch of politicians that don't give a crap about you. And then you want to sit back and say that about us. Well, you know, the thing is, you want to know the funny thing about that is,
Mm-hmm.
we know they don't give a crap. We're just doing what we need to do
Yep.
to force them to give a crap.
Yeah.
What do
Exactly.
you do? What do you
Mm-hmm.
do? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
when your guy gets in office, you sit down, stick your thumb up there, and then basically go.
Right.
That's all you do.
Mm-hmm. Going about
You
their
know,
day.
because
Yep.
right, because well, that's just what the government do. No, the thing is, I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example of the difference here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when when Trump did the first lockdowns during COVID, it was his own supporters saying no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then when the lockdowns continue, or no, my mistake. I got
Mm-hmm.
that backwards.
I
His
got you.
supporters, his
Yep. I
supporters
know what you
actually
meant.
supported it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
his supporters actually supported it.
Yep.
And I sat
Supported
there,
the
I
lock.
was like,
They supported the lockdown. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
right. And the thing was is that when I looked at it, I said, wait a minute, we didn't do this in 1917. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't have all of the lockdown stuff and everything.
Right.
And and people say, well, what if you caught it? I caught it twice. I
Mm-hmm.
survived it.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay, I caught it twice. I survived it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the thing is, the fact of the matter is that yeah, it was probably the worst flu I've ever had in my life. But at the same time, too, I'm not negating the fact that a lot of people died from it. Or, some people say that some people are more conspiratorial, that, they didn't actually die from that. They had it and then died
Precondition
from the
issues.
common flu.
Yeah. Common flu. Whatever. Yeah. That's true too. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact of the matter is that I don't think that locking us down actually solved anything. I think it actually made matters worse, to be honest with you. But that's just my opinion. That's just an opinion. It's not. I don't have any facts to necessarily prove that case correct or not. But I just have a knowing what I know about germs and stuff like that because I did combat life saving and triage when I was in the military, and based on what I know, um, yeah, based on what I know, yeah, there's a lot of vectors to getting sick. And if you put a bunch of people in quarantine, you better isolate people who are in quarantine from people who don't have similar symptoms, lest somebody does have a symptom, and then you just basically infected the entire quarantine bay.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
But
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But going back to this friends and benefactor crap and everything, Malcolm X warned us about this. I think the year, if I recall correctly, I think the year was 1961. He actually warned us. He says that in the exact terms, if I recall correctly, he
Mm-hmm.
says that the white conservative, you know what you got with them. They're
Right.
wolves.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they're wolves, and they're
Right.
going to eat you.
Yeah. I remember.
He says,
Yep.
but yeah,
Speech.
he says, but the white liberal, he said, them little foxes, they'll come up to you and pretend that they're friends and benefactors. They want to play with you. They want to treat you nice and right. But
Right.
at the end of the day, you're nothing more than a lamb chop to them.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
Exactly. Yep.
The difference is that one side, you know, they're going to want to eat you. The other side, they want to play with you first and then eat you.
Right.
So, me personally, if I know I'm going to get eaten, I'd rather know that I'm going to get eaten, not BS'd around before you decide to sink your teeth in me. That's kind of why I don't too much like the Democrats at all.
Right. Right.
You
Yep.
know,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
so at the end of the day, you gotta realize that the first party. Okay, we had talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the
Right.
Free Soil Party, the American Tories, the Whigs, and the what was the other party? It was a fourth party. I can't remember the name of it. But prior to the establishment of the Democrat Party, we had about like maybe 6 or 7 political parties out there that all work together in different various ways. Which that's kind of how it's supposed to be. We're not
Right.
supposed to be in this. We're not supposed to be in this quagmire of two parties.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to do that. In fact, the fewer parties you have, the more power the people within each party have. The objective is to make sure that your politicians don't have absolute power.
Right.
Because the instance they have absolute powers, they don't work for you, you
Mm-hmm.
work for them.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the thing is, we we got into this problem now. The Democrat Party, established 1826,
Mm-hmm.
were established to be the only political party. They have it in their original. They have it in their original thesis.
Yeah.
They have it in their original mission
Mm-hmm.
statement that they wanted to be the only political party.
Right.
Anybody who knows anything about politics know that if you're in a one-party system, you're no longer either Democratic or Republican or anything.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, look at you're gonna have maybe a Potemkin candidate that's basically just there to give you a sense that you're voting for something else. No, it's going to be like Kamala Harris all over again. They're just going to install the person. Your vote is just there for decoration.
Right.
You didn't vote for
Exactly.
that person.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be just like, oh, do you want Kim Jong Un or do you want Kim Jong Un? That's literally what we're going. That's if you side with a one party system, that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with either what's that called? Yeah, the DPRK,
Mm-hmm.
Democratic People's Republic of Korea, North Korea, or you're going to end up with the People's Republic of China.
Right.
There is no more America at that point because pretty much whatever the Democrats say will go. That's the reason why I'm a little skeptical about this next upcoming election. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I suggest anybody and everybody out there
Mm-hmm.
to let the Democrats know that they can't run roughshod over us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Just like I was explaining to you yesterday, it's not
Right.
rough shot. It's
Right.
called rough shod. It
Mm-hmm.
it was rough shod was a tactic of the American cavalry. What they did was they had their horse in the wintertime. Their horses had to be shoed. Right,
Mm-hmm.
shod is actually the
Mm-hmm.
proper past tense of shoed. Shoed is improper. But at any
Mm-hmm.
rate, shod means that you got put shoes on them. Rough shoes
Mm-hmm.
is for the horses to grip the ground while
Mm-hmm.
they're running it on ice. So what
Mm-hmm.
happened was they would run over their opponents, and their horses would stomp all over them with those
Mm-hmm.
spikes and whatever on those rough shoes. So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to run roughshod over us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
I don't want any political party to run roughshod. I don't want the Republicans to have too much power. I don't want the Democrats to have too much power because in either case, when one side has too much power, you end up with corruption. You need
Right.
somebody to keep the other person in check.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look
Right.
at look at every place. Look at every place that is Democrat majority.
Mm-hmm.
There are, as far as I know, there are no places that are Republican majority. But look at the places that are Democrat majority. Those are the most corrupt places you could ever be.
Yeah, you ain't joking about that. That's what I've been saying on this whole channel in regards to it because they always believed in big government. Thank you for the likes, though. By the way, I still see them. Yeah, the whole big government thing, right? We have
Okay.
bloating, we have mass spending, we have corruption up to wazoo. and things are not getting done as they should, though. Well, on the other hand, what did Trump promise? He said to reduce government, right, at least by 80%. I believe it's 80. I think it might be 30%. I think it might be 30%. Thank you for the likes, though. But right now, I would rather go anywhere we can get lower than what we have right now. But as you can see, it's a task. He's being blocked on every level. And they already set this up a long time ago, since 1913. What are we talking? How long many years is that, if my math is right? Over 70 years? Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely over 70 years. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go ahead and give you back the floor here. And I just want to say one thing. I appreciate you guys showing up in the chat and things like that. Looking at your comments. I ain't forgot. I'm posting them up and things. All I just say is be kind to the guests. Be kind to the
Ah,
host. Yep. And we'll have a
let me
merry time. Go right ahead.
let me learn you guys something right quick. And this not to call you out, Black Guy Nine, but I'm just gonna say this because I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, you know why the sovereign American. I don't call sovereign citizens. There's different than sovereign citizens, different than libertarian, right? A
Yeah.
sovereign American is a person who is a constitutionalist. They believe in the Constitution of the United States of America, and they believe that their rights are guaranteed, and that the politicians should work for us and not us for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: stop using leftist and socialist terms in discourse. Black Guy Nine, I'm sorry. I just looked at the comments and everything, and I just have to say this: we're not a capitalist country. We never were a capitalist country. We have a market economy. Okay. The difference is Adam Smith, the inventor of our economic system, called it a market economy. You know who called it capitalism? It was the communists. Yes, the left. You're using the left's terms. And capitalism is whatever the left says capitalism is. Okay? If they say it's two wolves and a sheep voting over what's for dinner, that's what capitalism is. Okay? So the fact of the matter is this: we live in a market economy. Who came up with the term capitalism? You can look this up. It was a French parliamentarian in 1791. His name was Louis Blanc.
Oh,
Louis Blanc.
before you
Mhm.
go any further, though, I gave Stephanie a little shine here just for a little bit. She said that's a lie. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi is the most corrupt because of the supposed to say education is bad. She said the most corrupt. I'm here to tell you, Stephanie, the states that are the most corrupt is, we're going to talk about, from New York, Maryland. We can go in and name them, right? Chicago, Detroit. Don't leave those out, right? And then we start to go further down, and things. So the ones that are most corrupt, like we said, California, California, Arizona, Colorado. Don't leave out. Um, what's the other one too? Oregon. You know what I'm saying, and so forth. And then the big one, the big mother lode, is Washington State. So you have your facts wrong, Stephanie. I would encourage you to do some more investigating on your own party, because here we look under the we look behind the curtain on both parties, right? And things. So
Yep.
I would suggest that you do that instead of just rah-rahing for one side. It's like what Omega just said. They already got you. And for most of you, if you're rah-rahing and you don't look up the information on the other side and stuff instead of what you know, because what's reported is not necessarily the truth. They control the media too. Go ahead, Omega. And you can point. You
Yeah.
can step on what she said if you like.
I don't like repeating myself.
Got you.
Anyhow.
Go ahead. That's fair,
Anyhow.
man. That's fair.
The point that I'm trying to say here is this: is that, and I'm just trying to say this for no, Black Guy Nine. The left doesn't speak against capitalism. They created the term. It was Louis Blanc, a what's that called again? A proto communist that came up with the term capitalism. Okay, you need to take that out of your vernacular altogether. Okay, we never were, never have been, and never will be. Oh no, the only way we'll be a capitalist is if the left take over. How
Yeah.
about that? Okay, capitalism, capitalist, capitalist means per count, percent, per head, head count. Capitalis, that's Latin. Okay,
Hmm.
Ismos is Greek. It means the pathology leading towards whatever it precedes. So what happens is it is the pathological adherence to the head count or per capita.
Okay.
That's called a it's called a pathology. The left always pathologizes everything. And what happens is when you pathologize things, right? Well, you could agree to disagree, but as long as you keep using leftist terms, you're going to lose the argument.
Give them,
I'm just going to tell you like that.
give them the give people the correct education in the terms that should be used
No,
versus.
well, the correct term is just market economy.
Yeah, I remember we talked
When
about that.
Adam, yeah,
Sure.
it's a market economy. Okay, what happens is you have what is called a free market economy. You have what is called a Keynesian market economy. That's what we're in. We're in a Keynesian market economy. Okay,
Hmm. Right.
Keynesian market economy is when you have the market take care of its own economics with constant government interference. That's what Keynesianism is. It's basically a welfare provision by the state to interfere with the current status of the market.
Right. Right.
Your dictionary, your dictionary. I'm gonna tell you that's called a dictionary fallacy. Black guy 9. Dictionary fallacy. I tell you what. Look at a dictionary from look at a dictionary from 1910, and you'll have a different definition. Dictionaries are based upon uh, prescriptions rather. I mean, not prescriptions, descriptions rather than prescriptions.
Hmm.
Your dictionary is only describing a word. It doesn't prescribe a word. I'm telling you right now. You're talking to a guy who speaks 5 different languages, and yeah, I'm just going to tell you right now what you know about capitalism is a bunch of crap that was taught to you by the left. Okay, the education system has been corrupted by the left.
Right.
Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
and they call it capitalism. I refuse to use their terminology.
Right.
I
Right.
refuse to use the terminology. And see, the problem is, okay, I can't say that I can't say that I am an intellectual because I'm not.
Right.
Okay, I have intellectual perspectives on things. I'm
Hmm.
more of a strategist.
Right.
Okay, there's a difference. A strategist knows the intellect of his side and his opponent's side, and his whole and the strategist is the person who basically figures out how to win the
Right.
argument based upon the fielding of everything that's on it. And when I look at the field, the right always loses because they
Hmm.
concede to use the left's points and use the
Right.
left's terms. That's the only reason why the right loses against the left.
Right.
But then the instance the right stop using their terms, guess what happens? The left decides they want to become violent
Hmm.
and want to fight now because that's what they do. They twist the words so that you get tripped up over on what how you're describing the situation.
Right. That's
Then once
fair.
you get tripped up, when you get tripped up into their term, so you agree that it's this. See, they're like, oh well, capitalism is when
Hmm.
this is the argument that I had. Capitalism is when the owners of the means of production can enslave the populace. I
Right.
said, well, there. I said in a free market, I can choose whether or not I sell my labor to my employer upon a price that I can mutually agree upon.
Hold
And
on
they
for
said,
one
well, that
moment.
sounds
Hold on for one moment, Omega. I don't mean to interrupt you. We got another was a veteran in the house here from Damage 3332 says from this retired 20-year Navy veteran. Man, I rock with a lot of military people here. Shout out to you though. I didn't want to interrupt you, but you know I get excited when I see military people in here as well. Go right ahead. Yeah, you see him there? You probably see him too. Yeah. Um.
yeah. Well, the
Okay.
thing is that I'm laughing at the comments here. They're saying, no, he's not an intellectual. That's funny to me because here's the thing. The the problem of an intellectual is They could tell you that intellectual can tell you, hey, I have this bright idea and it's going to work. And they don't know the nature of reality. The ideal failed. Well, the ideal failed because this didn't happen. Real communism never was tried. That's the intellectual.
Mm-hmm.
A strategist will say, well, you know what? The reason why your communism failed is because, oh, those guys, they tried to do X, Y, and Z just like you, and they ended up with the conclusion of the death camp. And I
Mm-hmm.
bet you'll come up with the same conclusion. How do you figure? I say, uh, okay, for your system, um, if if people don't agree with living the way you tell them to live,
Mm-hmm.
what are you gonna do? Well, I will re-educate them. What if re-education doesn't work? Well, we'll just lock them up and re-educate them until they come out. So, but what if that doesn't work?
Yeah.
That's when the killing starts.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's real communism. So that's the problem with intellectuals. Intellectuals, they believe in a model, and
Mm-hmm.
if the thermodynamic truth of reality
Mm-hmm.
does not
Mm-hmm.
validate that model, they want to change reality in order for the model to work. A
Mm-hmm.
strategist, what I am, look at it is what it is. What
Right.
can you do with
Mm-hmm.
what you got?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know,
Exactly.
even Saul Alinsky said that
Mm-hmm.
strategy is doing what you can with what you got.
Mm-hmm. Look like Juliana took another shot here. I see some of these interesting comments here too. Spider-Man ball. Yeah, I'm not gonna really read those though. She's saying, well, I'll read this one. Juliana says the capitalist machine is oiled by blood of the workers, but like you said, she doesn't understand where the origin point of where this stuff is coming from when you say capitalist and
Exactly.
capitalism. So she's
Yeah.
she's got a
So so
right. Go ahead. I'm
so
gonna let you
whenever somebody
explain.
when
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
whenever somebody says something like that, you know what I tell them? I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we don't live in capitalism.
Right.
Capitalism is what you think we live in, but
Right.
what we really live in is a market economy.
Market economy with the illusion of
Yes.
a free trade though too. But
Well, the whole thing about free trade, we talked about this
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, we did. I want to bring it up again for them. For them,
Yeah.
go right ahead. It's good stuff.
The thing about free trade is, and a lot of people don't realize this because they tend to can't they first let me get into this. Most people are first order thinkers. They think A, B, C. Okay? I am a fifth order thinker.
Okay.
Okay? In order
Mm-hmm.
to be a strategist, you have to be a fifth order thinker. How fifth order thinking works? Okay, A leads to B, but B doesn't always lead to C, doesn't always lead to D, doesn't always lead to E.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But one of those two can lead to E, or you can go to E and lead to D.
Okay.
But you got to go to your next step. So what happens is this: they can't think past the tariffs. Oh well, tariffs will make my Chinese garbage buy at Walmart more expensive. Yes, it will. But here's the thing. Here's the catch. Okay, let's look back at 1987. Was it? Was it 1987, 1988? Can't remember which year specifically. I was still in elementary school at the time. Um, Nissan of America were floating cars to the United States. So
Okay.
was Toyota. So was all of the Japanese manufacturers,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Even with shipping them over, the Japanese cars were cheaper and a little better than the American cars.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they wanted to do? They said we can't have these Japanese cars here. Our American manufacturing will go out of business. So they created the tariffs
Mm-hmm.
to prevent Japan from floating those cars here to the United States on container ships.
Right.
So what did the Japanese do? They decided, well, if we want to sell cars in America, and if we can't float them there, why don't we build factories there and have Americans build our cars for us?
Right.
In fact, right this very second, I find it funny, right? I had a person. I had a person that I saw with a bumper sticker on the back of a Dodge,
Mm-hmm.
a Dodge pickup truck, which 85% of the parts required to assemble it don't even originate in the United States, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it says if you want to keep your job, buy American. I said, well,
Right.
you bought the wrong car. I said, if you want to buy a car that's American and keep jobs, I said, there's nothing more American than a Nissan Tundra
Right. Right.
because
Yeah.
100% of that is manufactured in America. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true. The companies that build it are Japanese. You have Yazaki doing the wiring and stuff like that. But Yazaki is right there in Farmington Hills,
Yep.
Michigan.
Yep. Pass by it all the
The
time. Yep. Off of
Yeah. So
275.
so all of the parts are made in America, even though they're made by Japanese companies. So there's no
Sure.
car more American than a Nissan Tundra,
Right.
because
Right.
even Ford has half of its parts built overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, the tariffs are the reason why the Japanese manufacturers
Mm-hmm.
are, are building plants. So also why you got Kia down in Atlanta, Georgia. You got Kia, and then you got Hyundai and a whole bunch of other companies that build cars here.
Right.
Okay, we cannot sell an American car in any of these countries, and you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because of tariffs.
Right.
You see, if we were to be, oh, free trade,
Mm-hmm.
let them sell their cheap crap here in the United
Right.
States and
Right.
don't
Right.
charge a tariff. Here's
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen. We're going to build crap that we can't sell outside of our country. They will flood our country with their crap,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be putting our own manufacturers out of business. That's the problem that most people don't see with the tariffs.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
I saw this problem years ago. I said, okay, this is why tariffs is technically a good thing. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it allows the American manufacturers to actually compete against the foreigners.
Yep. 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 Which we definitely need that. We definitely need that because we were losing before, jobs and stuff, everything outsourced and things like that. We got to eat sardines and stuff,
Yeah,
a little, but man, we know what I'm saying. But yeah, hold on for one moment, Meg. I'm over here looking at it right now. Some comments coming in, some more. Let me go down to the bottom and then scroll up. Damage 3332 says, Deming, or say the Deming theory was amazing. Who the Japanese adore. That's what he says, though. And you're more welcome to comment on some of this.
wait, repeat that again.
He
That was
says
I don't even see that.
it said Deming, the Deming, or it means it's supposed to be say Dems, I'm assuming. Theory,
No, Deming
Deming,
theory. It's
yeah.
it's an engineering term.
Okay. Oh, we got another engineer in the house. I'm obviously not an engineer.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just some random guy. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, if I remember correctly, because
Mm-hmm.
now we got to go back to crap that I studied in college and forgot. If I remember correctly, I think the Deming theory has something to do with mass production. But it says the Deming theory was amazing, who the Japanese adored. Yes, the Japanese adored, what's his name? Charles Deming? I can't remember his name. God, you're asking me to remember crap from 1997, okay? But at
Okay.
any rate, but at any rate, But at any rate, the thing is that the Japanese adored him because Deming's approach, which gained prominence, is revitalizing Japanese industry post World War II, emphasizes that 94% of the problems are due to the system, not the individual worker. Actually, yes, that's what it was. Yes,
Go
it was.
ahead.
It was.
Go ahead, Dummage.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
right there. I
Yeah.
remember that now. What happened was if I remember correctly, it had to do with mass production. The problem was with the production and not the workers that were producing,
Right.
simply because of the fact is that usually it's an engineering oversight and not necessarily the input of the workers themselves. Thank you for reminding me about that, because, like I said, that was some stuff I forgot when I went to
Oh, they
college
got
back
your
in
back.
1997.
Right. I'm gonna say one
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, Spider-Man Bald has been making some points. Like I said, this is what I want. We all ain't got to agree on things. This is what is nice. If you can come in here, hold your end down
Well,
intellectually or
okay.
not,
I,
but I
Yeah.
get some points. I mean, like I said, yes, I think you saw Spider Man, Spider Man Ball. He's been commenting pretty
Okay.
heavy.
Oh,
Go right ahead.
yeah. Well, okay. I'm
Rockefeller.
gonna go with
Go
this
ahead.
one.
Go ahead. Go
Spider-Man
ahead.
ball. You
Go
said
ahead.
we shouldn't. We should stop fire. Oh, wait. We should stop tariffing our allies, though. At least not tariff them as much as we do. Here's the problem. They tariff us more than we tariff them. Okay, that's the part the news media is not telling you.
Yep.
If you look at the tariffs that France have on the United States, right? We
Oh,
cannot send a single bottle of wine to France, but
that's
yet they
true.
can send a crap ton of wine here.
Yeah.
They can send a whole crap ton of wine here, and basically, uh, we get flooded with their stuff, and we can't sell a single bottle of ours there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's uneven trade.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely uneven trade. Okay, so if you want if you want us to stop tariffing our allies as much as we are, you need to tell our allies to stop tariffing us because we
Right.
can't sell a single Ford. We can't sell a single Ford car in France. We cannot sell a single GM car in France. No, no,
Right.
no. We can't even sell a bottle of Napa Valley wine to France.
Right. Yeah, that is true. Yep.
You know,
That. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't sell crap to them, but they can
Right.
sell all day to us.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
the thing is, if they're not buying from us, but we're constantly buying from them, that means money is leaving from us and going to them.
Right.
We're losing money, they're gaining money.
Right.
Therefore, we tariff so we can keep some of our money.
Yep. 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 Makes a lot
That's
of
the first
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Second thing is since American wine it can be rather expensive. Well, we need to sell it somewhere. We need to sell it in the United States. So guess what? Make theirs a little more expensive so we can buy our own.
Right. Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
always
making
for the
common
American
sense.
worker.
Right.
The problem is that you guys are so hooked up into this globalist nonsense
Yeah.
that you don't understand how we are shooting ourselves in the foot by
Mm-hmm.
not tariffing our allies.
Right.
They're not in a mutual exchange agreement with
Yeah.
us.
They really aren't.
We
They
we can
aren't.
do all kinds of favors for them, but
Mm-hmm.
then soon but you want to
Mm-hmm.
okay when they raise the tariff on us and we can't sell jack to them.
Right. Yeah. It's totally unfair. It's an
Yeah.
unfair trade. It really is, though. And I appreciate you guys too. You guys are making some great points. I'm trying to cover. I'm not ignoring once again. Let me see. It look like we got. I'm gonna look at Spider-Man Ball again. He says our economy falling apart just like Rome always. Let's be realistic here. We would never pay back the debt. You talking about the $36 trillion deficit? Let me see. A reason says our allies tariff our products, help them to buy their own products. Our problem is that we have blanket tariffs instead of the individual products. What do you say about that?
Well, here's the thing. We're doing that so that we don't do what they do.
Right.
They have blanket and individual product tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
We're just doing blanket.
Yeah.
Now, if we just want to do what they do, then we will just go ahead and do both, and then raise the tariffs on everything. We're actually, as far as what we're doing, we're actually being the nice guys here, while everybody else is being dirt bags,
This is true. Can you
and
imagine
smiling
if
in your
we
face.
right? Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if America went in willy nilly style on these other countries though, it'd collapse
I'm
their
telling you right
economy.
now. I, I'm gonna tell you like this right now. Okay,
Go right
the
ahead.
biggest problem the left have, and
Mm-hmm.
most people have, because they don't really look at the board. They're only looking at what they're told is on the board instead of actually looking at the board. Okay, now if you actually look at what's going on the board, the fact you'll find is that if America had the mentality of any country outside of America, right, with the military tenacity, technology, as well as power as we have, we would already be in World War III. If China had the
Thank you for the
abilities and
like.
capabilities of the United States,
Mm-hmm.
if China had the ability capabilities of the United States, because Chinese military is a joke, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If they had the capabilities of the United States, Taiwan would already be taken over. Japan would be bowing to the communists. Most of Southeast Asia will be will be parts of China already. Okay, if any country in the Middle East had the power of the United States, but they maintained their mentality, there won't be an Israel. Okay, Islam would have spread throughout all of Africa and part of Europe.
Right.
Okay,
Right. Right.
if if any country in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
if any country in Africa had the military ability of the United States of America, there would be a trans-African Union, but at the same time, it'd be like the African Third Reich.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Mm, mm,
And
mm.
we got somebody spamming, so I'm gonna take care
Uh.
of that one.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I see that. See that too. I didn't want to. Yeah. All I ask is that you guys, like I said, we always welcome different viewpoints. Debates, so forth. I'm saying just be respectful. You don't have to spam. We're trying to stay on topic. I know this one guy. Is that Kev Jackson? Yeah, we're not talking
Yep.
about trans people here today. Nor I would ever talk about it because it doesn't apply to me. You know what I'm saying? But at any event, yeah, we want to try to stay on topic. If you have anything to contribute or debate about, you're more welcome. You're more welcome. Go right ahead, Omega. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a moment. We got
Yeah.
another one. Here's a new one. What's this? Hamster time? First
Yeah.
black
Not
soldier.
hammer.
Huh? Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
It's a first black soldier coming back in a box soon. Are we happy and winning? Well, here's the thing. Okay, war is war. I served in the military myself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
occupational hazard, what have you. This ant. Okay, here's the problem, and I almost pretty much guessed
Can
this.
I hold on for one moment? Whacking out another person here, and you can go right here. Yeah, Ruben, there's veterans in here. You speaking? There's one speaking right now. This is Omega. He's a vet, and there's another one in here too. I think is what is it? Trying to remember his names. Yeah. There's a few in this room that are vets, but go right ahead on there, Omega.
Here's the thing. Okay,
All right.
a lot of people got to.
Stop with the pedal war stuff. Stop with that. Stop with the terms, or you're gonna get blocked. As I mentioned before, though, we're not doing that. We're not doing that stuff. If you're gonna have something to debate about or contribute, you're more welcome. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking about that stuff. We're not talking about Epstein, right? Not right now. Go right ahead, Omega. Sorry about that.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, as I was saying, the fact of the matter is this: is that any person that says that must not have been born in the 80s. They had to have been born in the 90s.
Right.
Okay, they don't know. I mean, I was born what? I was born in the 70s myself. Okay,
Yep.
and the thing that I think we kind of both were born in the 70s.
Yep.
But anyhow, they don't know. They don't know the to the extent, or what was the extent that Iran ran us through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
it took us almost 5 years to get our ambassadors back, who
Mm-hmm.
were hostages.
Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, no, it didn't take us that long. It took us about 3 years. It took
Yeah.
us about 3 years to get our hostages back. Okay, and the fact is that they've constantly funded and worked with organizations that attacked us or attacked our allies at any given time or place, right? And the fact of the matter is that we had an ally in Iran before the Ayatollah used a bunch of dumbass leftists to help take over. And when they took over, the left always had the same issue they always have when they actually win, and that is whoever they help win, put them against the walls and kills them.
Right.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, that always seemed to happen. That happened with the Mao Revolution.
Okay.
That happened with
I don't
that.
mean to cut you off though. If you could, you or Black Guy 9, could you go ahead and get Hamster Time out of here? Cause I still see he just keeps on with the pedo conversation and being disruptive though. I appreciate it. Josh, man, yeah, we're all in the same age bracket, man. And things. So we all in the same age. We got some Gen Xers in here. We got quite a few Gen Xers. I looked at the demographics and stuff. Yeah, you said Jimmy Carter helped him. Yeah, that's correct. You talking about the Ayatollah
Yeah.
Khomeini? One, yeah.
Well,
Go, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
because Jimmy Carter was favorable to the left because you got that. That was the point that I was trying to make also when we were talking about the Democrats. The Democrats are not left, or actually, the real Democrats are not
Mm-hmm.
left. They're
Oh
right
yeah.
wingers. Just
Hold on for one moment, Ruben. Just I saw
yeah,
that too. Hey, Omega, could you go ahead and get go ahead and bounce Hamster Time up on out of here. You got down here simping for the billionaire pedos is crazy, stupid. And once again,
where is it? Where is
it's
it?
he's further down at the bottom. If you scroll down, you'll see Hamster Time and things. We just want to try to be fair to everybody else. It's like, oh, did I hurt your white MAGA feeling? Nobody is hurt, Hamster Time. You're not contributing to the channel. You're being disruptive. And I ask you politely over and over and over, but that's what you do on the left. But go right ahead,
Exactly.
though. Exactly. Go
Well,
right ahead.
the Democrats, Jimmy Carter is probably one of the few actual leftist Democrats that we had. Most of
Mm-hmm.
your Democrats are not even left wing; they're actually right wingers themselves. Problem is that they're a different kind of right winger. They tend to have this nasty habit of using leftists as their pawns. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, they just want power. They just want to pretend that they're leftists just to get the vote. Okay, so like you got people like Nancy Pelosi. She's not leftist. She's actually rather right wing. The
Right.
issue is that she basically uses the authority of state and twisting of words to make things seem like she's working with the left. Look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right?
Yep.
Now
Yep.
that's a leftist. That's a leftist. Okay, that's a
Progressive left.
leftist.
Far left. Progressively left.
But here's the thing.
Uh huh.
What was she do? What she's doing now? She's kissing the ring. You see what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
The actual leftists don't want to kiss the ring. But the thing is that Nancy Pelosi set her aside and basically said that
Mm.
we can redistrict you out. We don't need you. We can redistrict you out. In
Yep.
fact, your district is so blue that I could slap a D on a glass of water and they'll vote for that glass of water.
Yep.
So
Unfortunately, the
when
truth.
when yeah, and when Alexandria Ocasio Cortez heard that and realized that who's really pulling the strings, she got in line with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that now she's starting to sound like the right wing Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
She's starting to sound like them. Those the right wing Democrats are your blue dogs, your unionists and stuff. Donald Trump was a centrist Democrat. He wasn't really right. He wasn't really left.
Right.
And
Right.
even
Right.
now, he's the first left wing Republican we have.
Mm-hmm.
How does that even work?
Mm-hmm.
But he's far right because they drank the Kool Aid. They believe that left good, right bad, Democrats left. Democrats are not left. Democrats are whatever they want to be to maintain power. In fact, there's another group that actually did the same thing. It's called let me see. We everything for the state, by the state, and with the state. We'll do anything for power. Hmm. There was an Italian term for that, and then this Italian term just happens to mean bundle of sticks. It's
Mm-hmm.
also the etymological root for the FAG word. Oh, that's right. It's called fascism.
Mm-hmm.
The fascists are the ones who's calling everybody else
Mm-hmm.
fascist. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
the Democrats operate on the same paradigm as fascists. Thing
Right.
is that the Democrats don't realize it because it's kind of like, how can I say this? The one thing I love what the Democrats and the left say is that a person who is of privilege, a person who is in privilege are blind to their own privilege, which is technically a true statement. Well, if you're an authoritarian, you are blind to your own authoritarianism.
Right.
So, and what happens is that going back to what I was saying, because that was a tangent. We were talking about, wait a second.
Yeah. There's a comment that came up too. For Sir L Dog. He says, "No
Yeah.
way I would ever vote for a Republican again. The MAGA coalition is nothing but a manipulating, lying conspiracy theory, spreading political party. American never was great." So he has this whole.
Ah,
Okay, go
that,
ahead. I'm
that,
gonna let
that's
you
that,
before I
that,
go. Yeah,
that,
go
it,
ahead. All right.
that's funny because guess what?
Mm,
That's a LARPing leftist. That's actually a leftist talking point. That's called black propaganda.
yep.
Black propaganda is the type of propaganda where you
Yep.
pretend to be your opposition
Right.
instead of being your proponent. What
Right.
happens is when you pretend to be your opposition, you actually portray a straw man estimation of your opponent's point in order to pigeonhole your opponent to another point that is believed to be held by people who are descending of the main body of your party. So in other words, if I were to be a dissenter, if I happen to be, let's just say, if I happen to want to do black
Thank you for the
propaganda
like.
towards, if I want to do black propaganda against Democrats, I'll sit back and say something like, well, you know, I believe that multiculturalism is the best way we should go, and the ex-Democrat is not multicultural enough because multiculturalism requires us to make sure that all cultures are separate and expressed differently, just so that we can have different cultures that basically reflect their own attributes and whatnot. So that being the case,
Hmm.
if you're talking about integration, then you're not a real Democrat. I can't vote for the Democrat Party anymore. That's the same thing. That it sounds ridiculous, but that's what that comment just did. It's called black propaganda.
Hmm. Right, right.
It's a
Yeah, I know.
leftist tactic.
Yeah, I know where he was going with that. Sir L Dog says, well, before I read his, we got Spider Man. Let me go on and read his. I'm gonna be fair. Spider Man boss is political parties suck. All the politician parties suck. Let me see here. Spider Man Ball says again,
I
they're
don't disagree.
extremely diverse. I'm in agreement with some things with that. You said divisive, extremely divisive, and the videos like these prove it. Let me
Well,
see
thank you.
videos like these. Let me see here, and
He's
sir,
he's
right, I
complimenting us
got it.
basically for yeah.
Right, yeah, and now, like I said, I always try to be fair, bring people on and stuff like, oh, somebody calling right now. Hold on for a minute. All right, let's stop that. Okay. And then we got Sir L Dog says the only thing that is original American experiment actually did was it made a divide between two parties, which I'm going to agree with, that now nothing can get done for the average tax paying citizen. Don't like that word citizen, but we'll discuss it. Let me see here. Retarded sounding coming from Balanta, black man. Balanta, black man. It looked like a truck driver, man. Like you got a fellow truck driver on here though too. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and get into it there. I think you can see the comments yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Hmm. Yeah.
Sir AI Dog.
Yeah.
I think that's Al Dog. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
Sir AI Dog.
Yeah.
The problem is I'm white, but I did grow up. Ah, crap.
Yeah.
I'm white, but I did grow up in black neighborhood. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. In Japanese we would say "soyu mon yaro." It is what it is.
Hmm.
So the thing is that you know everybody has a perspective based upon where they grew up from. I grew up, I'm gonna be honest with you, I grew up in an upper middle class, upper middle class black family in a upper I'm not gonna say which neighborhood, but an upper middle class black neighborhood on the west side of Detroit at some point in my life. Okay. So, extremely large lawns and big houses. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you're from Detroit, you probably know what I'm talking about.
I do,
Okay.
because I am from Detroit too, you know.
So the fact of the matter is that you can be a product of where you came from, but if you stay in that same mentality, the only person you have to blame is yourself. You can be as I like to. There was one kid that I heard say this back. I think it was 2014. He sat there and said you can be born poor, okay,
Hmm.
but if you grow up and you stay poor, the only person you have to blame is yourself. And this
Right,
is coming from a
exactly.
12-year-old.
Hmm. Right.
That
I
was
wa-
coming from a 12-year-old.
exactly. Right, exactly. I was gonna. This is a brother here. I wanted to address something here. He made some statements. Looked like a truck driver, as I mentioned before. He said Balanta black man says, when was America great? There's several points in time that was great, especially for black
Oh
folks
yeah,
because you're a brother.
I'm
And one,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
tell you like this.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna,
right
I'm gonna
ahead.
tell you like this.
Mm-hmm.
What was the greatest time for black people in America? I'm
Right.
gonna be honest with you. It was
Yep.
actually the 1960s. As
Yep.
funny as it may
I'm in
sound,
agreement.
it,
I'm
it,
in
it
agreement.
sounds it
I'm in
sounds
agreement.
contradictory.
I was
It
about to.
was
Yep.
1960s
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
number one,
Say it.
um, 90 not 90, 88% of blacks were in families married together.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Number two, 90 plus percent of blacks graduated from high school,
Oh, we got
a
a
high
13.
percentage.
You got a 13-mile white boy. DW5107. He says 13-mile white boy. Oh yeah, it's all good though, man. You can be white,
Right,
black, and from Detroit or whatever, or the suburbs. I'm not
right.
mad at you though.
I'm
Eminem,
not mad at you either.
exactly. He was over there on 8 Mile, you know what I'm saying, and things. But go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead. I just he
So so
responded.
so
Go
the
right
the
ahead.
the, the, the last thing was is that there was higher black business ownership in the 1960s.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
fewer black people on government assistance.
Yes.
Okay,
That's correct.
see, here's the thing. What made things bad? Every time the black people rose up, there was only one group of people that kept knocking us down.
Right.
It's just one group of people. It's called white Democrats or white
That's
liberals.
that's correct.
Every single time. Rosewood incident, the
Yes.
Rosewood incident, white
Yes.
liberals.
That's right.
Okay?
Rosewood.
Black
Yes.
Wall Street, the bombing of
Yes.
Black Wall Street, white
Tulsa, Florida.
liberals.
Yes, sir. Asheville, North Carolina.
White
Black bottom.
liberals.
Right here in Detroit.
What
Black bottom.
white liberals.
White liberals.
Every single time. And then here you are voting for these white liberals who keep
Yes.
kicking you down and leaving you in a subservient position.
Right.
I would respect you if you go to the point where I'm at, and that is, I don't trust any party. I don't
As you
trust any
should.
party.
We should not. But
Exactly. I only
but
vote for
go ahead.
whoever I think is the
Right.
better candidate.
And right now, Trump is the better candidate. That's what they're not getting. The B is short for Black Lanta. Black Lanta, black man. Here's the thing about it. You look like you're younger, man. I can tell with your photo that's up. You got the sunglasses on and the scully on. Thank you for the likes. You seem like I would say you look like you might have been born in the '90s, if I'm correct. So I would suggest for you, be Lanta, a black Lanta, black man. Go and pull up. You want to go look at that history of our people, man, and things
Back
like
in
that because that's
yeah,
100% correct. But let me see it. Yeah, go right
back in
ahead.
the 1960s,
Hmm.
right? You would never see a black person not wearing a suit on Sunday.
That's true. That
You'll
is
never.
absolutely
In
correct.
fact, you going even going to work interview, job interview. You could be going to job interviews for scrubbing a toilet, that person's going to be wearing a suit going to that job interview to scrub a toilet.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
We
Black,
didn't have
right.
we didn't have Pookie and Ray Ray trying to break into our crap every 5 to 10 minutes to score enough money to get a rock.
That's absolutely correct. I've been saying that on. Yes, I'm saying
And
we have.
guess who brought that up? Oh, the FBI. Oh, who was the director of the FBI
It was
when they started
right. Go ahead.
when they started getting
Hmm.
crack cocaine in our cities and stuff?
Right, exactly.
A white liberal.
Exactly. That is correct. Blacklanta, Black Man says 100% of blacks during the 60s didn't have full rights afforded to them by the US Constitution. I think I posted that up here already and things. But now
Wait a
hold on
second.
for a minute, Black Lanta. Hold on for a minute. You made a statement earlier because we want to, you kind of hopping around a little bit because first of all you said when was it ever great again? And I'm assuming you're talking about for black people. Now Omega or myself would have highlighted, what he already did it already. Now you're saying that we didn't get the full rights and affordable rights or whatever. And if we didn't get the full rights,
That's called, you know what that's called, Black
yeah,
Lander? That's called moving the goalpost fallacy.
that's what.
Okay,
There you
you
go.
gave us one question
Yes,
to answer, and then
yes,
because you didn't like the answer that was given, you
true.
moved the goalpost to see if we can force us to concede that we couldn't come to a good answer. But I'm going to tell you just like this. Tell you just like this. Here's the best part. Here's the best part.
Hmm.
We did have the full rights. The problem is we didn't have full protections.
Right there we go. That's the thing though, and I couldn't get that
And you
term out.
can't you
It was
and the
right.
worst part is
Hmm.
you're a first order thinker. You're
Right,
just like 80% of humanity are single order thinker. A B C, A B C,
right.
A B C. You can only think in a straight line.
Yep. Linear. There
Okay?
you go. Yep,
Linear thinking.
yep.
80% of humans. I'm not discounting any person for being a linear thinker because the thing is that it is what it is.
Right.
Most people are linear thinkers. They
Hmm.
can't think outside of the line.
Right.
That's why people believe there's left and then there's right. Now, if I tell you what politics really is, you'll be confused. Because I'm gonna
Hmm.
tell you like this: it's not just left and right; it's authoritarian plus um, populist, and then you go to the third dimension where it's centralization versus decentralization.
Yep.
So it's a cube. It's not necessarily a straight line. It is not a grid.
Right.
But the average person can't think that deeply.
No, we cannot think. And I appreciate you guys too. Excuse me. I appreciate you guys as well. You guys are making some wonderful points in here. I'm reading as I go, posting them up as we go and things. I'm gonna see here. We have wait a moment. I'm gonna make sure I'm going down the order here as well. Remember the Southern Democrats? Question mark from DW5107. We also have Black Guy 9. Put that on a T-shirt, Omega. He says. Whatever the statement you said, yep, I'm sure you know which one it is.
Yeah, I have an
JB,
idea.
okay, says, I'm a black male, 62 years old. How can you support Trump? I don't hate him, but doesn't want you in his country. Hold on for a minute, JB. That's not true. That's not true at all.
That is
Go
that is
ahead.
actually
Yep.
that is what I like to
Mm,
call a presupposition fallacy. Okay,
right.
so my question to you, given what you just said, right?
Right.
Given what you just said,
Mm,
the burden of proof is on you to prove that he doesn't want us in this country before you can even make a claim. Because that is made, any claim that is made that what's the exact terminology here? Oh yeah, any declarative statement that requires an answer in the declarative requires evidence to prove the point of the question itself.
right. Exactly. Yep.
So that's a bold declaration.
Mm-hmm.
How, because from my perspective and from what I've known, he doesn't want us out of this country. In fact, I forgot his name. He has a YouTube channel now, and he only became famous because of Trump. And he's a
Mm-hmm.
black guy. He looked like he's on steroids. He's a jack dude that does a lot of cooking. He does
Mm-hmm.
he does these skits on Facebook where
Okay.
he's yelling like yelling like a drill sergeant at other people to cook and
Right.
whatnot.
Right. Right. Right.
And he
Right.
has this huge knife and he start cutting up stuff and
Mm-hmm.
start grunting while cooking and stuff like that and make
Right.
all
Right.
kinds of food. He was Trump's personal chef.
I did not know
So
that.
yeah, if he, in fact, let's go even further. Okay, he was on Ellis Island with
Mm-hmm.
he was on Ellis Island with Rosa Parks and basically
Mm-hmm.
got the Ellis Island Award on the same day
Right.
as Rosa Parks in 1997. Oh
Right.
yeah, by the way, remember what happened with what's her name again? The singer, black singer. Her family was killed, and God, why am I forgetting her name? It was right. Her face is right there in my mind.
Oh,
Um,
you talking about Jennifer Hudson?
yeah, Jennifer Hudson. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Hudson's family was killed. He held her up inside of the Trump Tower to protect her from the killers of her family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, 19,
okay. Go ahead.
uh,
I don't want to
ni-
interrupt your thought. Go right ahead, and I'm gonna address something.
yeah,
Go ahead.
1997, he brought Don King to Mar-a-Lago,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and the Palm Beach City Council fined him
Mm-hmm.
for bringing a black person into Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up having a year long court suit, a lawsuit against Palm Beach, and won. And at the end of it, he gave all of the Palm Beach city council members a picnic basket or a thank you basket, all with the video of guess who's coming over to dinner. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, I could pull up any of these, and you could actually look up any of the things I just said. You can just
Right.
simply
Right.
Google
Right.
it, and you'll find it.
Right.
In fact, some of it was reported by Ebony and Jet
Mm-hmm.
magazine,
Right. Right. Right.
and I'm trying to figure out how is it that Trump doesn't want us in this country. That um, it, it's called est non sequitur.
Right.
It does not follow.
Right. Let alone with the Constitution, 13th, 14th, and the 15th Amendment. But I know Black Lanta don't know those either, because if he did, he would never have said that. However, I'm over here looking at it right now. Black Lanta says, I'm a proud black Democrat voter. I want to acknowledge, too, Happy Mac, man.
A slave of white liberals. Malcolm X will be turning in his grave because
Shout
of
out to
that.
Happy Mac. Yeah, good to see you again, Happy Mac. But yeah, so this is what he was saying. He said, I will never in my life vote or with a Republican Confederate flag, loving fascist party. He's blowing the
The
line.
Confederate
See,
flag,
he
first of
doesn't
all, the
understand.
Confederate flag was a
Doesn't
Democrat
understand it.
flag. First of all, second of
Yeah,
all, the southern
don't understand.
aggression of the Civil War were all Democrats.
Yeah,
It all started with Buchanan. Buchanan himself was a Democrat,
yes, that's correct. But he doesn't.
and
He doesn't
yeah, he
understand
doesn't know
history. He
because of
doesn't
the
know the
public
history.
school system. Yeah,
Yes,
public school
yes.
system does
Say
not
it.
teach you anything.
Say it. Yeah,
I didn't go to the public school system. I went to private school.
you did.
When I finally went to public school, when I finally went to public school for high school, I didn't start learning anything until I was in the 11th grade. Ninth and 10th grade, I learned nothing.
Right, exactly. I went to the public school, and I've said that many of times. Can't you? Thank you for the lights. Can't you tell? I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is, because government education have failed us tremendously. Thank you for
Yes.
the lights, though. I've been said that. We didn't have the choices, school choices, let alone curriculum choices. It was all given paramilitary and things, and that's where all this stuff we had a big conversation about that, and you're more welcome to go in that again if you would like, about the whole educational system. But before you do,
Well,
I'm gonna read
okay.
this one real quick. He said black guy 9 says most gay men are proud Democrats. And there's no argument
Ooh.
right there at all. Let's see.
Ooh.
JB says brainwashed brothers. We got some in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, what do you mean brainwash? You talking about for Democrats or for Republicans, or what do you mean about that things though? His hatred for mankind. He must be talking about Trump. Okay. Black Lanta says, black man. Which political party in America was willing to fight and die to protect Confederate statues and monuments
Well,
from
let me
being
go.
removed? Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Let's go this route. Okay,
Okay, sure.
let's go this route. Okay, who put them up in the first place? Democrat Party.
Yes.
It stands to reason. It stands to reason that the Democrats want them removed by any means necessary, simply to hide their past. In fact, they are still the same segregationists that they always have been. They
Yes,
just learned
sir.
how to rebrand that segregation to brainwash young guys like you who don't know anything that happened before the day they were born.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
that being the case, the real issue here is that, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Segregation. We talked about this yesterday, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Segregation. 19 during Jim Crow, segregation is basically you N word stay over here, white people stay over here and don't cross that line.
Right. You know
That's
what?
called the red line.
Right. Right. I was gonna say, not to interrupt you. Hey, Black Lanta. He says, look at this. He said, look at this, brother. Trying his hardest to prove that his fascist future. Further. Was it? Okay.
That's
Hold
funny.
on.
That's funny
Right.
coming from the guy that. That's funny coming from the guy that's bowing for fascism, because
Right.
fascism is all about the state. Who's
Right.
all about the state? Oh, it's the Democrats. Everything
Right.
has to be about the state with the Democrats. That's
Right.
what fascism is.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
of course, a person who probably got a B or a C in public school doesn't understand this, because
Yeah.
the public school system was created
Yep.
to make people who are
Mm-hmm.
just factory workers
Yes.
who can't think for themselves.
Yes.
You ring
Yes.
a bell, you're
Right.
supposed to do this. You hear
Yes.
this horn, you're supposed to do this.
Train
Somebody
seal.
whistles, you
Yep.
do that.
Train seal. Yep. Black Lanta. And I'm gonna do this. This is gonna be a little rare. If I drop the link down, you're more welcome. You're more welcome to come up here and debate this, if you like.
Yeah, because I don't
I
mind
mean,
debating anybody, to be
right,
honest
right.
with you.
Well, yeah, it's all good. So for him or anybody, I'm gonna give you the opportunity today. You're more welcome to come up here and
I only have 30 minutes because
okay,
I got
that'll
some
be
things I
fine
got to
because
do.
I gotta shut it down too. So, Black Lanta, you more welcome, or anyone that disagrees. You know, all I ask is, he says, stop embarrassing yourself. Hold on for a minute, Black Lanta. I'm giving you the opportunity here. If I put the link down, hold on for a minute. I'm going to do that. Let's go ahead and copy the link here. I'm going and do that. Give you an opportunity to come up here and things. So, Happy Mac, shout out to you. I haven't seen Happy Mac in a while, man. I'm gonna put the link down in here, and I want let me see. I'm gonna give this here. Put the link down right there. There we go. Click that link there, and I got it on both Twitch or YouTube. So Black Lanta, here's your opportunity. Right, you can come up here and things, and then let's go and have a real debate. You know. And I said I'm gonna start doing this though, but we got 30 minutes. So, or whoever that don't agree, you know, what the statements that Omega was saying about the history of the Democratic Party and some things, like he said, he's not a party loyalist. Let's get that out the way, you know. He votes for the party like me. I vote for the party, right? That happened to be the best man for the job, and
Well,
that's Trump.
actually, yeah, the person. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with
the
you. I
person.
voted for Mark. I voted for Mark Hackle. You know,
Right?
because I live in
Yep,
Macomb
yep,
County
yep,
right
yep,
now.
yep.
I voted for Mark. He's a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he wasn't, but he was
Right,
the better
right.
person for
Yeah,
the
he was a
job.
better person, and I get that. I don't have no problem with a Democrat per se. It's more of the person and not the party. That's what they don't understand. But
Exactly.
yeah, Black Lantern, come on up here, and things, or Sir L. I want you to come up here. I already dropped the link, so come on up here, you know, and then therefore we can just have, you know, the debate. I'm gonna give you your time. I'm gonna let you speak. But you know, I already dropped the link. Did you guys see the link? I'm sure you did. And things. So therefore, we can just go in and open it up. So therefore, I'm not going to make it an echo chamber, but you're more welcome to come up here and debate and things. So Black Lanta, we're waiting on you. Or Sir Al Dog, AI Dog, you're more welcome too. I think there's some other ones up here as well. You're more welcome, any of you, you know. Sean 333 that says Uncle Ruckus, you're more welcome to come up here and JB too. JB, there's the link down there. No, you don't have to talk. You ain't got to, let's go on ahead and get you up here. I'm going to post the link one more time. I want you to come on up here. Come on up here. There you go. That way we can go ahead and have the debate for real. Don't tell me you're chicken though, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I tell you what. I tell you what, black man. Um, that is a very feminine coded statement there. Okay, and what I mean by that is women,
Thank
women.
you for the
Okay,
likes.
one time I said I'm not going to date somebody who has a waist size above above 30 inches, right? And then all of the not all of the non-fat women were embarrassed and what's the word? Oh yeah, offended. I don't use the word offended, but at any rate, they were offended and whatnot. And what happens is that I'm like, that doesn't apply to you. Why are you offended? You see, you taking that offense about what I said and taking it as a personal attack, that's some straight up stone cold female energy, man. I'm
And
just
on
gonna
the
be honest with
right, and the only reason I said chicken because I gave you the opportunity as a man, mano y mano, man to man. I gave you an opportunity. I put the link down twice. You went on the attack on us. If you forgot, I can post
you.
them.
Yeah,
You went on the
yeah.
attack, right? So that's why I said, "Are you chicken?" Because you heard what I said. I put the link down, you know, and I've seen this over and over and over. You one of these keyboard stroking warrior type of dudes, right? You're comfortable in your safe space, like most people are, especially liberals. You're comfortable there, right? I get it. You look like a truck driver, right? Because I got a lot of truck drivers that rock with me. That's not a
I'm
problem there.
still I'm a still hauler myself.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So don't make it sound like, because like I said, this ain't never been no echo chamber. But if you have a issue or you want to think you can debate, you have the floor. Giving you the link. But I've seen guys like you and many of you, because every time the link is dropped, you won't come up. You think that we're going to get up here and comment. I haven't said one swear word to you.
Opinions are
Right.
opinions are not fact. Opinions are not facts.
Right.
Black land or black man. You attacked me with an opinion, and I gave you a fact, and you called my fact an opinion. Female energy.
Yeah. And that's all he said. Because that's the thing about it, though. You know. Thank you, Black Guy. Black Guy 9 says Omega is going to eat him alive like catfish. Yeah, he's not going to come up here though. He's not
He's
going to
not.
come up here. He's not. And
He's not.
I've seen this. We've seen this before many of times. Some of you don't know. Omega ran a show way before I did. He had a thing on the YouTube. He know how this stuff is going. So
Yeah,
that's
I
the
got
thing.
banned.
Right.
I got banned because I made too many leftists cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
all I come with are facts and reason.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly. That's all.
Facts
That's
and
all to be
reason.
all. Right. Jesse Johnson says, "Why do you like Trump, Donald? Why do you like Donald Duck Trump? You Uncle." He said Uncle. We had
Okay,
Uncle B.
why do you like a an Indian woman who's one quarter Irish
Oh
pretending to be
gosh.
black? Why do you
Right.
like an Indian person who pretends to be black and blow smoke up your rump?
Right. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
if she wouldn't
Mm,
have done
mm,
that,
mm, mm.
she wouldn't have done that
Right.
and actually had a policy
Right.
instead of being appointed because the Democrats couldn't give up the money because they already spent the money.
Right.
She wouldn't
Exactly.
have. They would have had. They would have had a primary.
Yeah, she spent, what was the budget? She blew the budget by 1.5
But
billion.
she's in debt. She's in
Exactly.
debt.
And who had to carry the tab for the vendors got stiffed? What was it like? What was it? 20 million, I think it was. Something
Yes, it
like that.
was.
Yeah, 20
Yeah, it
million
was
for
20
the
million.
vendors got stiffed. You know who paid that? Take a guess. It was Uncle Trump.
Uh, yep.
Yeah, he asked the
Bailed the,
campaign. It
bailed the
was extra
Democrats
money.
out.
Right, exactly. It was extra money from the Republican Party. They said, should he asked the people. He said, should we do this? Should we go ahead
Right.
and he asked, hit the party, would it be okay because the vendors of Kamala Harris, where they had the election and so forth, they got stiffed. They paid out beyond, was it Beyonce? No, was it what's her name?
Oprah
Megan Thee
Winfrey.
Stallion, and a lot of them.
Oh,
Even Al Snaked and Sharpton and all them. All them, he got paid $500 million. Yeah, $500,000. Al Sharpton, what is it? Megan Thee Stallion, I think she got about $1 million out of that, and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of that and other stuff where the money came from. It was Trump, right? Out of the extra from the Republican Party, they had a budget probably not. What was their budget exactly? What was it? It was hundred
I
thousands of
forgot.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't no billion, right? And
Yeah.
and the vendors got paid. If it wasn't for Trump, if he was this SOB and all the stuff that y'all claiming, then the vendors would have never got paid, man. Come on now, stop it. I gave you the opportunity. You won't come up. So therefore, I lost a lot of respect for Black Lanta, man, because like I said before, man, you won't come up in here. You've been the one that's been boasting, insulting, and so forth. And you remind me, as I always said, you have, unfortunately, the so-called black community is a cult. Because when cult
Yeah.
thinking, right? I mean, cult people does what cult does. You have to be a Christian. You can't be a Baptist. You got to be a certain type of Christian, right, to be accepted. You got to have the other things. Democrats, you already know, and things like that. You got to be, that's what you have to be, right, in order to be accepted by the group. If not, they would just kick you to the side, right? And what he doesn't know is that we have a lot more, right, blacks that have stepped away from the Democratic slave plantation, and there's many of them. Omega is not the only one. I can
I
list
stepped.
some guys.
I stepped.
Right.
I stepped away from the Democrat. I'm gonna tell
Right.
you why I stepped away
Go
from
right
the
ahead.
Democrat Party.
Right.
Okay. It was 2000 actually. So I
Right.
stepped away from the Democrat Party 26 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I think it was Jesse Jackson who ran again for in the Democrat primary, and they shut him down again,
Mm-hmm.
and because they wanted Al Gore to get it right.
Right.
They shut him down again, shut
Right.
down all of the other, and then the others just like what happened
Okay,
with Biden.
Here's
So,
Black Lantern. Hold on for one moment. I'm about to say, come on up here, my brother. Ain't nobody gonna jump on you. We all brothers. You still my brother. All right, welcome to the chat. Let me put you up here on the stage, and then we'll go ahead on, and I'm just gonna add you on. Left, right, that doesn't matter. Put you up there. There you go. There he go. Black Lantern in the house. There that brother go. What's going on with you, brother?
Hey, let me make something absolutely clear.
Go right ahead.
Even though, if you notice in my comments,
Yes.
when I would say you're wrong, good brother, I still see you as an enemy, but we're still brothers.
Oh, that's harsh though,
you
Black
know, see,
Lanta.
that's the thing.
Oh
That's the thing.
no,
I
brother.
still see you as like a
I'm gonna
political
tell you
enemy.
why.
All right, hold on.
Ideology
Hey,
as
Omega,
like
That's
your
even
hold
why.
on, hold on for a minute, guys. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna give Black Lanta because this is his first time up. Black
Yeah,
Lanta,
I'm,
please. Okay, I'm gonna want you to no disrespect. I want you to explain, not to us as well as to the viewer. I mean to the viewers, why you see black Republicans as the enemy. Go right ahead.
no. I didn't say. I know a
Uh,
lot of guys. I know
okay,
women who are Republicans,
sure.
but they don't come at black Democrats like myself who vote Democrat saying, "Oh, you're feminine. You're effeminate. You're in a cult. These are intellectuals. These are scholars who I know that are Republicans. Some of them voted for Trump. Some of them will say, "Well, I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. I can't stand Trump. No, I'm pretty much like with Reagan." Uh, but when you attack me, when you try to come at me with all this nonsense about, well, the Democrat Party, they were the party of slavery, brother. You just some black people, conservatives, Trump supporters, MAGAs. They assume we black Democrats don't know the history about the great switch when black people switch
You
parties
mean
and
fiction?
why they switch parties. I,
That
You
did
mean
not
brother,
fiction?
happen. That
look,
did
look,
not
look, look.
happen. That
That
did
didn't
not
happen.
happen.
Oh,
But go
okay.
ahead. Go ahead. Go
Wait,
ahead.
let me finish.
Sure. I'm
You
gonna let you
said
finish. Go ahead.
I can prove it. I can prove it happened right now. Right
Hmm.
with this right here. Look, which party was up in arms, was willing to die and fight, were protesting because they didn't want Confederate statues and monuments removed? Was it the Democratic Party or the Republican Party?
Post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy. Just because two things happen at the same time or one thing happened before the other one doesn't mean that one causes the other one. That is called a correlation causation fallacy. The reason why the Republicans decided to defend the statues, first of all, was simply because of the fact is that their argument, because see, that's the problem with liberals, black liberals especially. You
Here
guys
we go
don't listen.
again. That's the
Hold on.
that's the
Hold on.
problem
Hold on.
with
Guys
Hold on.
don't
Hold on.
liberals.
Hold on.
listen.
Hold on for
You
one
guys
moment.
don't listen to your opposition.
Hold on, and we're
Okay,
gonna let you
and you're
speak. I'm
proving
gonna
me
go ahead.
right now. You're proving me right now. You don't listen to your opposition. Okay, I listen to what you guys say. Okay, and I look at it and I say, you know what? You guys don't have all of the information. So what happens is this: the Republicans were basically saying this, which I don't disagree with. Okay, because I'm not a Republican. The Republicans were saying basically, listen, why don't we hold it to a vote instead of having a bunch of vigilantes tear stuff down? Okay, hold it to a vote and have it taken down through the necessary political steps and process, and then probably throw it in a museum somewhere. Okay, that was the argument. Democrats were like, no, 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 tear it down. In fact, let's throw the rope over it right now and pull it down. The party that constantly wants to talk about
You're
process and
lying.
procedure, I can pull
Hold
up
You're
on, hold on,
videos
lying.
right
You're
hold
now.
on,
straight
hold
up
on, hold
lying.
on,
You're
hold on, hold
lying,
on,
brother.
hold on, brother. Hold on for a minute.
You
Hold on. The rules are
can I, can,
you gotta
can I
hold on,
say
hold
one
on, hold
thing?
on,
I
hold
just
on,
want to say, okay,
hold on, brother. Hold on for a minute. I'm just saying we gotta be respectful for one another first and foremost. He was still talking when you tried to bring up something. I know you. If we get triggered, and that's just we brothers. We got to show an example that we can still get along, whether we disagree on something. That's all I'm saying.
The
I got to
problem is,
mediate.
hey Tony,
Okay. I'm
so,
just trying to
yeah,
mediate.
Tony,
Right.
yeah, Tony. The problem is he already said that he considers us
he's an
enemies.
enemy.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I say,
I don't consider
and I
you an
put that
enemy. I
out.
consider you
Right, and
misinformed.
that's what I say. I don't consider you the enemy. And another
No,
thing with
I
the
don't
tearing
consider you an
down of the
enemy.
statues was the simple fact is because they were trying to erase the history. When you don't learn from the past, my brother, you are doomed to repeat it. All I'm saying is
Exactly.
put your prejudice to the side about me and listen. He even told you he's not a Republican at all. Do you realize, brother, when I wear my hat, I gotta have my just in case. In case of some deranged person run up on me. So that's bad, brother. We are in America, right? This is
Right.
what the whole thing about being America
And
about. This
and the
ain't
way I look
China
at
or
it
North
is
Korea or
right.
Russia. But I'm just saying though,
When I
brother.
when I
So I
And
didn't
the way
come.
I'm looking at it,
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead, bro maker, and
when I
I'll
wear
say
my
my piece.
when I wear my fuck Trump mask during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
when I wore my fuck Trump mask and my fuck Trump shirt
Mm-hmm.
during COVID, and as I still wear
Okay.
today, I have to
Right.
be on high alert just like you.
I know. And we got something in common. But I'm gonna let Omega and yeah, you guys are gonna be doing the debate. I'm just gonna mediate. So we're gonna be
It's
respectful.
not really. I say this very
Sure,
respectful. I
sure,
have a let me just say this. I
sure.
have a brother who
Mm-hmm.
thinks the same way. He's my
he
brother, but
doesn't
he's
think
the
like me.
enemy.
Okay. Gosh, brother.
See, that's the
Hold on.
problem. That's the problem. You
Are,
bought
are
the
you gonna are
white.
you
You
gonna let
bought the white
Hold on,
liberal.
hold on,
You
are
bought
you
the
hold
gonna
on,
white
let
hold
me
on,
liberal
hold
finish?
on, hold
He
on,
nonsense.
hold
say that
on, hold on,
he
hold
come
on,
up with
Omega.
this.
Hold on, Omega. I'm gonna let him finish. Hold on. Go right ahead.
He
Go
come
right
up
ahead.
with this. He come
Hold on.
he come
Go ahead, brother.
he come up
I'm
with the
listening.
name. He come up with the same nonsense talking about the Democratic Party. Oh, the Democratic Party was a party of slavery. Or there was never a great switch. They are still the same. They, sheep. It, they just know how to hide themselves now. I'm gonna say this. What you said was a straight out lie. You think a lot of people, like what I was saying before, a lot of people think that black Democrats, specifically black men, don't know the history about the Democratic and Republican parties, about the Great Switch.
So why
Hold
are
on,
you?
hold on,
Why
I'm
hold
are
on,
not.
you?
Omega.
I'm
There
Go
is
not
no
ahead.
finished,
great
good
Hold on
brother.
switch.
for a minute,
I'm not
Omega.
finished.
He's
I'm not
almost.
finished.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
They think we don't know about who is responsible for 99.99% of those Confederate statues and monuments being erected, like the Sisters of the Confederacy, the
Okay.
Lost Cause. The
The lost
lost
cause.
cause,
Yeah.
how they was trying to how they was okay, just like the movie. Another perfect example. Let me just say this,
hmm
and I'm not kind of trying to digress from the subject. You know the movie that outlawed Josie Wells?
Yeah.
Remember with Clint Eastwood?
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
What he was a Confederate, right?
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to make it like he's this so-called hero. It's brother, we so don't put me in this category like these so-called ignorant bobblehead people you talk to who don't know the history about this Confederacy bullshit. I know the
Okay.
history behind it, good brother. I'm well
S-
educated, good brother.
Okay. Now,
Okay. Now let me
can I
ask you this.
retort now?
Yeah. 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 You
Go
can
ahead
go
and
right ahead.
retort.
Go right ahead.
All right. Um, the lost cause, situation that was founded by President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat. Okay, FDR and the New Deal cut out black employees from federal work. Okay, it was actually integrated. The first integrated corps of the U.S. Army was the Army Corps of Engineers, and it was integrated under a um, under a Republican, to be honest with you. And it was Democrats that were constantly trying to segregate even the Army Corps of Engineers. Okay, another thing, the other point that you brought up, what was it? Oh yeah, the party switch myth, right? It's a myth. There were maybe only two Democrats that flipped over to the Republicans in the South, and that was only because of the fact is that at the same time, Republicans were actually switching from big government to small government, right? They were still right wing. They were always right wing. In fact, both parties are right wing. The thing is, there is no left. In fact, before the 1964 election and the 1964 Civil Rights Act, both parties considered the left sedition. The Democrats invited the left in. You know who the left were? The left were a bunch of Jews that were non-religious. Now, I know you're going to say, "Oh, he's on the Jews." No, here's the issue. Okay, the religious Jews don't even get into politics. But the atheist Jews, they always seem to go communist for some odd reason. Okay, because leftism is adjacent to communism because your first and original leftists were communists. Okay, so the thing is this: what do the communists do? They know how to rebrand stuff. Okay, Democrats are still the party of segregation. Name a single Democrat-run majority city that's not segregated. Okay, Detroit is segregated. All the white people that live in Detroit live downtown. Okay, all of the white people that live in Chicago, you can go to a specific neighborhood. This is a white neighborhood. If a white person goes into the black neighborhood, guess what happens? The cops come up and tell him to get back over to his side, or whatever the case may be. Okay, same thing about
Stop
Baton
lying.
Rouge, Louisiana. No, this is the truth. I lived in Chicago. Okay, so don't tell me I'm lying. Don't tell me about where I lived before. Okay, don't tell me that.
It's my
So
opinion.
not
I think you're
not,
a
not
liar,
and
but go ahead, enemy.
okay. I tell you what. I tell you what. Since you want to do, you accuse. It's called a two cocaine fallacy. Okay,
Mm.
you accuse me of what you are actively doing. Okay, I called you out, but I wasn't personal. You're being personal. Okay, I personally
I
don't
just said
consider
you're a
you an
liar.
enemy. I don't
I
consider
just
you an
said you're
enemy.
lying.
I consider you to be horribly misinformed. Horribly misinformed. Okay? And that's not a fault of your own. I don't consider you to be at fault for being misinformed. I blame the education system that basically brought about factory workers. That's it. Okay, it is what it is. I used to be. I have college behind me. I have a pedagogical certificate. Okay, I can go and teach right now if I wanted to, but I choose not to. Okay, and the reason why is because I know what it is. It's this stuff that we're talking about right here. They
Can I say
are
one thing?
Hold on,
okay. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this though. And this is to you, Black Lantern. I want you to explain that you said he's lying. Tell the
Yeah, what am I
viewers
lying
as
about?
well as myself, educate us why he's lying.
Well,
If you say he's lying, educate us.
Well,
Go
well,
right ahead.
well,
Go right ahead.
I don't really
Uh,
have time, and I don't really want to waste my breath and go into detail about what he was talking about.
I tell you what, I'm gonna stay on for the next half an hour. You can go ahead and say whatever you want.
When he was talking about the lost cause, the lost cause is the lost cause of the Confederacy, how they lost. Now they're
Yes,
trying to
and
justify.
And the Confederacy
No,
was 90%
hold on for one
the
Democrat.
moment, Omega. Go right ahead.
the lost cause was not started by one person, a political party, or the Confederacy. It was started by like the daughters of the Confederacies, sons of the Confederacies, former Confederate soldiers to try to justify and try to make it more sentimental of why we lost, to put the so-called Confederate generals in a so-called positive light. That's what the lost cause is. So, and I just want to make this absolutely clear. Now, when I see you, when I say you're my enemy, I'm talking about ideology and political enemy. And let me say this, because you have
Okay.
mentioned Malcolm X.
Enemy is enemy. Enemy
Yeah.
is
Go
enemy.
go right
It
ahead.
doesn't
Go ahead.
matter.
Yeah, hold on for me. Go right
And
ahead. I'm gonna let him go.
I'm gonna say, let me just say
Hmm.
this about Malcolm X, because you brought about Malcolm X. Well, Malcolm X. See, I have a person from the Democratic Party that I revere, that he don't get talked about enough, and that's Adam Clayton Powell Jr. So when it comes to Adam Clayton Powell Jr., who was a Democrat, and Malcolm X, I rock with Adam Clayton Powell Jr. 100% of the time, because he was strategic. So
Okay, I just did.
don't think that every black person is hardcore gung ho Malcolm X and Malik El Shabazz. You can continue, good brother.
Okay, I'm gonna correct you on something. Historical alignment of the Daughters of the Confederacy from 1894 to mid-century 20th century. Democratic Party connection during the late 19th and early 20th century. The UDC was closely tied to the Solid South Democrat Party, which at the time championed racial segregation and opposed Reconstruction. So
I, I, I agree with
effectively
you.
speaking, yeah, you agree.
I I
The Law's
I
Cause Advocacy, their
100%.
primary political
Hold on for one
activity was
moment, my brother.
lobbying.
Go ahead and let him go.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go right ahead, Omega. You good. I'm just
yeah.
I
mediating here.
totally 100% agree with you, brother. Those are facts.
Yes, they are. But it doesn't say here anything about what you're talking about them flipping to the Republican side. It doesn't say it at all.
But wait.
I was going to read this entire thing. I was going to read this entire thing, and the last part that right there, it says modern political alignment. The UDC's current leadership states that it is non-racial, non-political, and strongly denounces any individual or group that promotes racial decisiveness. That is the modern, and this is coming straight from Google. This is the modern perspective of the of the what is it called again? The Daughters of the Confederacy.
Okay, let's do this. Please, this all I ask for. And you can use because I did it on multiple so-called AI, and all the chat GPT, Google, and what's another one from
I'm not using AI.
Microsoft. Okay, no, this what I'm saying. Sometimes when people say like, well, Wikipedia, he using no. If you get something from Wikipedia, then it aligns with something in the historical book that's factual.
No, it's not. But,
Wikipedia, the information.
Wikipedia. I could go on the Wikipedia right now and change an entry and put a citation on it, and it will be approved, and it will be
Okay,
total
okay,
nonsense. In
okay,
fact, in
okay,
fact, in fact,
okay,
I want you to do a test with Wikipedia. Right? Type
okay.
in
Now, okay,
what is a woman, and then after that, type
I
in
can tell
what
you.
it.
I can
Okay.
tell you what a woman is, and don't think
I'm
this.
not.
This is what I'm talking about.
That's not what I'm
This,
talking about. What I'm
I
talking
know. I
about
know
is
exactly what
circular
you're talking about.
referential.
Hold on,
This.
guys. Hold on.
No, you don't know what I'm talking
Let's
about.
respect each other
Yeah, you
one
don't know
at
what
a
I'm
time,
talking about.
and then that's all. That's all. But go
Right.
ahead. Go right ahead.
What I'm talking about is called circular referential sources. Circular referential sources is basically you go to one thing, right? And you go down to look at the sources, it'll say this one thing. You go to the source, it's another Wikipedia article. You go down to the sources again, it goes back to the original article you tried to source in the first place. Wikipedia does that all the time.
Okay, hey, brother,
Wikipedia does
brother,
that
the
all the time.
moderator. This
Okay.
is your channel. I want you to please do something for me.
Yes, sir.
And I see and I don't like. I
Mm,
travel extensively throughout
yes,
the
sir.
African continent, mainly East Africa.
Okay.
So I don't I super chat a lot of people from East Africa channels.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have absolutely no problem like donating or super chatting people channels because it's worth it. This is good
Yeah.
dialogue.
Right. Right. It
And
is.
and, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm gonna say. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and Google or go ahead and Google an article saying when did the party switch? When did the Dixiecrats switch to the Republican Party? And you can read the first article when and why.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that and Google like when and why did the Southern Democrats switch to the Republican Party?
Party flip or party switch
Okay.
refers to the long-standing debate over whether the U.S. Democratic and Republican parties essentially exchange ideological positions
Mm-hmm.
between the 19th and 20th centuries, while often presenting a sudden, complete swap. Historical analysis suggests that a more complex, gradual evolution of the coalitions, particularly regarding race in the U.S. South. Here is the breakdown of that argument. Party switch argument. Proponents argue that the parties fundamentally swap roles. Specifically, 19th century Republicans were founded as an anti slavery party, and the Democratic was dominant in the South and associated with slavery and later segregation, Jim Crow. So that already disproved one of your claims there.
Wait. Who's
20th,
reading?
20th century
Wait, wait, wait,
20th
wait, wait,
century
wait, wait,
realignment.
wait. Wait a minute. Who's reading? I know. I didn't ask you. I asked his brother. I respectfully asked the brother whose channel he's on for him to go to the first article or about why and when and why. I'm not talking about you, good brother. I'm talking about the brother whose channel this is.
Does it
Maybe he
matter
misunderstood me.
does it matter who brings up the
Yes,
information?
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It does
Let
matter.
him go to the
Wh-
first article. Let him go to the first
why does it
article.
even matter? Why does it even
I'm
matter?
asking. Hey, brother. Okay,
All right.
okay.
Yep.
It
Go
matters.
ahead.
It matters. I want him to Google when did the political parties, the Democrat and the Republican Party, switch, when and why. Now let him do it. We don't need you. I'm
It
not talking
sounds to me
about you.
that you don't. It
Respectfully.
sounds to me that you don't like what you're hearing.
No, I like what I'm hearing. Go ahead. I want the brother to go. I asked for him to do it, and you just started talking. You heard what I said in the first place.
Okay. Here it is. The party
Now
switch.
go.
Right. The party switch or Southern strategies narratives, which suggests that the Democrat and the Republican parties abruptly swapped ideologies. All right. Yeah.
Are you reading the same thing he's reading?
No, I'm just reading on the Google. All I typed in is party switch myth, and this is what came up under what it says the party switch. Now, hold on. If you let me, I'm just going to go ahead and finish what it is. Hold on for a minute. It said the ideology positions on race and civil rights during the mid 20th century is considered by myth by some and a complex reality by others, largely depending on whether the focus is on politicians or voting demographics. Now it says here the argument against the party switch, minimal political deflections, right? Critics argue that the racist Southern Democrats have been suddenly flipped, right, to the Republican Party due to the 1964 Civil Rights Act, a mass change in the party affiliation, right, would have occurred in reality of the 21st Democratic senators who opposed the 1964 act. Only one, which was Strom Thurmond, which we know that he was a known Ku Klux Klansman, became a Republican. Now, is that what you're talking about? 'Cause that's what I'm reading under the Google. I just typed in the party myth thing and switched. So that's where I'm getting this from. They have this right at the
Okay.
at the very very top, right? Okay. Is this where you were referring to with your information?
Pretty much anything, because you're gonna have some articles that pop up like he was gonna try to like justify and be like, well, actually it was a myth. So that's why I asked you to like Google the
That's
first
fair. That's
two or
fair.
three
Okay.
or 4 or 5 articles that come up. Because hey brother, I knew what he was gonna try to do. They do it all the time.
You,
All
they,
right, now go right
I'm
ahead,
not they.
Omega. I'm gonna let Omega now. Go ahead, defend your position, Omega, on this. Go right ahead.
Yeah,
He can't. He can't
as I
defend
was
it.
saying, it is not a sudden shift. The South did not become Republican overnight in 1964. Republicans did
Exactly.
not hold
You're
a
right.
majority of Southern congressional seats until 1994, 30 years after the Civil Rights Act. The Dixiecrat myth, while some high-profile Southern Democrats, such as Storm Thurgood, switched parties, most Southern Democrats who opposed civil rights legislation remained Democrats or were replaced by other Democrats for decades. So rather than immediately switching to the GOP, gradual realignment. The movement of the South to the Republican camp was driven more by gradual changes in the region's value, including economic conservatism, pro-life views, and increased evangelical influence during the 1980s and 1990s, the Reagan Gingrich era, rather than a direct singular reaction to civil rights. Okay, so effectively speaking, there was not really a political alignment switch. Okay, it was an alignment switch based on economics and religion. That was it. Because the Democrats started pandering to all of these communists. Because, like I said, before 1964, both parties opposed the left. Both parties. In fact, like I said, read the book all the way with LBJ. Try to see if you could find that first edition of it because there's a few things that were taken out when they came out with the second edition. I read this book back in 1996 while I was in college. Okay. Now the thing about it is, when LBJ won the election, or whatnot, or won actually no, not the election, but when he actually finally passed through the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was a gutted version of the 1956, I mean 1959 Civil Rights Act. Okay, when they finally passed that gutted monstrosity that didn't have the civil protections that was afforded, they added some of the civil protections in the 1968 Act. Okay, but when they passed that, the Georgia governor said that you just condemned our party, and basically the Georgia will probably never vote Democrat ever again, which was true because the simple fact is this: it had nothing to do with the Civil Rights Act. It had more to do with the well, yeah, it kind of did. It kind of did involve the Civil Rights Act, but the methods by which he had employed to get the Civil Rights Act passed caused a lot of the Democrats in the South to pretty much have a
Oops.
bad taste in their mouth.
All right. Look like we lost you there. Hold on for a minute. Add you. There you go. Like we lost you there for a minute. All right. So yeah. Let me see here. Omega, are you finished? I think he might have. What did you hear last, Black Lantern? What did you hear last?
Yeah, I heard what he was saying, which was pretty much the same old spiel that these so-called black Republicans and black conservatives and black MAGAs normally spiel when they think they're talking to some stupid black uneducated uh, uh, Democrats who use racism as a scapegoat and all this other nonsense, who don't know the history about why the party switched. I was listening to
There
him. I
was no
heard it.
party switch.
I heard it, but I didn't hear it.
Okay, I've got a question here for you, Black Lantern. Here, I'm gonna ask you this question. All right, so here it is, right?
One
We
thing. One thing before you answer the question. One
yeah,
thing.
go right ahead.
The name is Balanta.
Okay,
I'm real deep
Balanta.
in genealogy and
Uh-huh.
ancestry. I did the DNA from like 3 or 4 different 23andMe
Okay,
African ancestry, African
okay,
American ancestry, and
okay,
my ancestry is traced. Every last one of them traced it back to West Africa, to Guinea-Bissau, and it's a tribe over there called the Balanta people.
okay.
So the Balanta people were kidnapped, enslaved,
Mm,
and they were excellent rice farmers. They was brought to like the coast of like North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia to do the work in a rice plantation, because they were excellent rice farmers even back in their countries before. So the Balanta people were taken to the coast along like North Carolina, South Carolina, to those rice plantations before cotton became the big cash crop.
right, right. We
So
may
so
have
I'm Balanta.
right. So okay, I appreciate you correcting me, Balanta. I'm not familiar with that particular tribe. There's a lot of tribes I'm not particularly let's say no, but I will say this though too. It sounds a lot like you may have heard of the Gullah Geechee, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Which is my
absolutely.
background, which is actually my background on my daddy's side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Right.
know about the Gullah Geechee,
Sure. Right. Right.
Savannah, Georgia,
Yes,
Georgia,
sir.
and
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. So the thing about it is that I know that when it okay, you familiar with I know you already know about Martin Luther King and so forth. Are you familiar with the Republicans right before they became Democrat? Are you aware that before they weren't always Democrat, right? Do you know when the time when what happened, what year or what happened in general? When I'm talking about like when blacks switched over and became, I'm sorry, from Republicans over to Democrats. And you know Martin Luther King had a lot to do with that, and Lyndon B. Johnson. Would you agree that that happened or not?
Would I agree that there were black Republicans who
Yes.
switched to
Yes.
the Democratic Party?
Yes.
That's facts. That's factual, of course.
Okay. All right. So the question is, okay, I'm not insulting your intelligence or anything. I'm just kind of working it down. And then for the audience over here, it's just a debate of the what is it, the myth, or regards to if black, we're talking about the change, the myth change, or the switch between right, we're talking about white racist, right, that switched over from one party to the next, and that's what we're talking about here. So other than that, though, and I appreciate you for coming up here, man, because I was about to get disappointed in you, though, Balanta. I sure did if you didn't come up here. But at any event, I'm gonna say this though too. You guys, and it's been a great debate, but I want you to land your planes, and because I gotta, get ready to head out pretty soon. Let's go. Who want to go first before we go ahead and shut it down? You want to go
Are
first,
you
Omega?
talking about pretty much
Uh,
a closing?
yes.
And keep in mind, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm none. This is what I try to. I see. I like how you're being very cordial. You're being very respectful. You're not like taking like one side over the other side, even though it's obvious that you align yourself more with the Republican Confederate flag loving fascist party. I had to sneak that one in, but but so I'm not a religious person. Uh, all my heroes are the people who I revere: Fannie Lou Hamer, Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, Malik El Shabab, Malcolm X. I like Farrakhan. I have certain views about Farrakhan and where he about Farrakhan myself. So Adam Clayton Powell Jr., even his father, W. E. Du Bois, they were religious. Most of them were Christian. During some of the hardest times in the lives of Black people or struggle, the religion that we relied on was Christianity. So even though I'm not a Christian, I can say I'm an atheist with a capital A. I totally, absolutely, unequivocally deny the existence of a supernatural being up there that's concerned about and these what we're doing down here. So the reason I say that is because I'm not going to be this so-called Black liberal Democrat religious person, Jesse Jackson, who invoked God. Okay, we can just do it with God on the side. No, that's not me. I'm different now. I am a Democrat. I'm proud to be a Democrat. I'm proud to be aligned with the same party as Adam Clayton Powell, who is my hero. Uh, Frederick Douglass was a religious person. I absolutely respect and admire him. And you can say, well, he was a Republican.
Yes, I was about to mention that, but you know the history. Go right ahead.
Absolutely. But
Sure.
today, I guarantee you he wouldn't be a Republican. Today, he wouldn't be aligned with Donald Trump. Today, he wouldn't be aligned with a fascist pig who's putting up images of Black people. You can say what you want to say about Michelle Obama, who is a direct descendant of enslaved Africans, and Barack Obama, who is a descendant of the Lua people of East Africa, Kenya, who, who depicted them as apes, as monkeys. He knew what he was doing. So I just want to say this. I know what I honestly see you guys as my brothers, but we don't share the same political
And that's
uh,
fine.
uh,
That's
uh,
fine. Mm-hmm.
ideology. And I do
Sure.
see you like
Mm-hmm.
I used to box. I was an amateur boxer. I never turned pro, and I played sports.
Okay.
I would see my opposing enemy, whatever, as my enemy. Just like honestly see you guys as my enemy. Now, do I wish death upon you guys? Do I wish you guys to die or harm? No, I know. But politically, I see you as an enemy,
Okay. You
To
know,
hold
an
in
adversary.
to hold enmity also holds the capacity towards wanting violence or harm to the person that you consider your enemy. So I wouldn't use that term to describe you, to be honest with you.
you could say dislike.
Okay, well,
I'm a combat
You
veteran.
said-
I'm a combat veteran, and if you have an enemy, your enemy deserves to die. So when you call me an enemy, no matter what you wanna, whatever you wanna try to proselytize, you're telling me that you want me to die.
well, that's if you want to interpret it like that. Well,
no,
go
no,
right ahead,
brother.
good
No,
brother.
no,
I don't.
no. No, we ain't
I
gonna do
see you
No,
that.
as a political
that's
enemy. We don't share the same
Uh,
ideology. I see you.
here's
but hold on,
okay.
hold on. Can I just say one
Okay,
thing?
okay.
I'm trying to
Hold
get you
on.
to
Can I
You
elevate
say?
your
explained it
thinking.
Can I
to me.
just
Now
say one
go
thing?
ahead. Go ahead.
Let me say one thing real quick. All I'm saying is that does it have to be so harsh by calling political enemy? You know what I'm saying? Does it have to be so
I
harsh?
call you my opposition. That's all
Yes.
I say.
Yeah.
You're
That's
just my
no. That's
opposition.
right.
I'm not gonna say you're my enemy. To me, like I said, I'm gonna say like this. My enemy doesn't deserve to be on the same planet as me. That's the way I look at things. Okay. I don't consider you my enemy. I consider you my opposition. I consider you to be educated but misinformed. Okay, because you can be educated and misinformed. You might even consider me to be misinformed, but the issue is that we're probably both misinformed. Okay, we probably both don't even have all the answers. The thing is that nobody can have all of the answers, because here's the problem: no matter who it is, they always change the questions. Okay, that's the first problem. Second problem is this. Okay, I'm detached from this. I have no emotional investment in this at all whatsoever. Okay, to me, this is just
You
nothing
could have
more than
fooled
just
me.
this is nothing more than me stating what I know about a situation. Okay. Now, the fact is that the point that I am emotionally involved in this is the simple fact is that, well, let's just be blunt and honest here. You were calling me out as a liar, okay,
Yes.
without knowing the perspective that I come from, and then straw man my perspective based upon a straw man estimation that you have developed in your mind to try to knock down. Okay. I could steel man any argument that you have. You can't steel man any of my arguments. Okay. I could treat every single argument that you have as if it's absolute truth, right? And then find the holes in that argument simply because every argument has holes. Okay. Even my arguments have holes. Okay. So that being the case, I'm not going to sit back and say you're a liar. I'm going to say you're probably misinformed. I'm probably misinformed. Okay. I don't consider you my enemy. I consider you an opposing ideology or opposing process of reasoning. But beyond that, I'm not going to sit back and say, "Oh, you're my political enemy." You're that, that that. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, that's what the same people that Malcolm X was talking about in the past about the white liberals, and it's also what I forgot my man's name. Why am I forgetting it all of a sudden? But he said, "Oh yeah, I think it was Booker T that brought it up too." Um,
Yeah,
you
Booker T.
got us sitting
Washington.
here arguing. Yeah, you got us arguing over things that really shouldn't matter between the two of us. But at the same time, you're steadfast hold to your position and want to hold enmity. That's where the word enmity. That is another word that comes from the word enemy, right? They have the same etymological root. Okay, you want to hold enmity towards those who don't share your worldview. Okay, I don't hold in. If you don't have my worldview, it is what it is. So are you, Monyaro. You know, it is what it is. So the thing is, I don't hold any enmity towards you. I don't consider you my enemy. I consider you just a person who is trying to see what the truth is and have your own perspective, but we just disagree. Do I have any enmity towards you? No. Do I want to see you dead? Hell no.
Let, let,
Go
let,
ahead.
let me let me say this
Yeah, go
right
right
quick.
ahead. Go right ahead.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when I hear you talk about the lost cause, when I hear you talk about the parties never switch, you disgust me. Now,
See,
just because
I
you
didn't even go.
discuss,
I didn't
oh,
even
oh,
go that
okay,
route
okay,
with
okay,
you.
Hold
good
on.
I
brother.
didn't
Go
even
ahead.
go
I
that
told
route
you,
with you. So,
Yeah,
you
so
go
you
you
ahead.
you
basically,
Yeah,
discuss
let him
you
go
basically,
ahead.
disgust me.
Yeah,
you
yeah. Let him
gave
go
in to
ahead.
the white liberals. Got
Let
it.
him go ahead. Let him go ahead. And then
When
go ahead.
when I hear you say that, you disgust me because I know exactly what you're doing. You thought I was
No,
some
you don't. You have
uneducated
no.
one of this
You
so
have
No,
called.
no.
no
Hold on.
idea what I'm
Hold
doing.
on. Hold on. Explain.
You
Tell him
thought
what he's doing.
you thought I was this black Democrat who just vote to be voting because of my parents was voting
Okay.
Democrat. My father was a Republican up until George Bush, the first George Bush, went to war with Iraq when he said it was some bullshit. So 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 it discussed it, and let me say this about Malcolm X. And I'm not going to say that and I agree with it. That's why I have the people who are like gung ho Malcolm X, Malik El Shabazz. So he did not, keep in mind, he did not deserve to be murdered by those brothers. People can say, oh, crackpot conspiracy theories, the CIA did it. No, they didn't.
No, they
The
didn't.
Nation
You're
of
right.
Islam, the Nation of Islam did it
Yeah, you know why,
because
right? Because
he,
I agree with
go
that
ahead.
too. Go right ahead.
yeah, yeah, because he publicly, the so-called black man Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X, talking about the white liberal. He ran to a white liberal. You can say the reporter was the right liberal, whatever, a Democrat, whatever, talking shit about the prophet Elijah Muhammad on public TV. When he did that, he signed his own death warrant. It was over for him. It was no coming back. So
It
that's
was
the only
deeper
thing I
than
wanted
that.
to say about Malcolm X. When he went on
It,
public TV talking, he was this so-called talking about the liberals, all this and all that, but he went publicly to a white man, to the devil, talking shit about the Elijah Muhammad. When I don't care, you can say, well, he had all these black men coming up from being drugs using all this stuff, and they owe their life to him for for them like helping them change for the better. And you think they were just gonna sit around and let him dog out the Prophet Muhammad like that? Now keep in mind,
You
I'm
know,
not with the Nation of Islam.
the way
So
you're
he
speaking, you sound like you are. But go ahead.
no. I don't believe in absolutely nothing I don't believe in none of the religious beliefs. When it comes to like eating healthy, a message to the black man, some of those things I totally, absolutely agree with. When it comes to the women dressing modestly, no homosexuality, and about what a woman is biologically, I totally, absolutely agree with that. That's another thing. Don't think just because I'm a Democrat that I agree everything with all these other so I don't I'm totally against abortion. I'm
Okay.
totally
You know
against
what?
all this transgender. I'm totally against all this transgender
So
bullshit.
why do you vote for it?
Yeah.
Who vote for it?
You said you're a proud Democrat, so why are you voting for it? See, me, I'm a proud nobody. Okay, I vote for whoever I consider the best person at the time. You see, that's your first mistake. You said I'm a MAGA. No, I voted for Trump because he was the lesser of two evils. Okay,
A
so
lesser of
that
two
that
evils.
that
Two
that
white
that's
people.
that
The lesser of the two.
that
The lesser of the
that
two.
that. Yeah,
Well,
well,
hold
you
on.
got
Okay.
Yeah.
you have a white person
The lesser of
who
the two evils
who
cop out.
no, actually I'm gonna tell you just like this. It was a choice between somebody who ran a business before. He had a 95% success rate because they say, oh, he has five bankruptcies. Yeah, five businesses, and the other 90 of the other 100 or so were doing just fine. So he has a 96% success rate. Okay, big deal. So the thing is, it was a choice between that and the guy who signed the legislation that put more black people in jail than anything else. That was my choice. Oh, better yet, choice between that businessman and a
Kamala.
woman and a woman who basically held black people in prison beyond their sentencing
Kamala
just
Harris.
to use them as slaves to put out forest fires. That was my choice. I chose the lesser of two evils.
More right wing Republican Confederate flag stuff crackpot conspiracy theory nonsense. But
Confederate.
go
Hold on.
ahead.
Hold on.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Go right ahead.
Keep
Go
Okay,
right
going.
ahead.
okay, dumb motherfucker. Let's go.
Hold
Let's
on.
go
Hold
that
on.
route.
Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for a minute.
Keep going.
Hold on a minute,
Let's
Omega.
go
Hold
that
on.
route.
Hold
Since
on,
you,
Omega.
since you want to go that route, we're gonna go
Omega.
that route.
Oh yeah. No. No. Hold
We're
on.
gonna
Keep
go that route.
going.
Hold on. Hold on.
First
Keep
of
going
all,
with that
first of all, the Confederate
bullshit.
Hold
flag,
on,
the
brother.
Virginia battle flag, was the flag of the Confederacy. Guess what? 90+% of the South were Democrats. Or should I say, the Confederates were Democrats. Hardly any of them were Republicans. First of all, second of all, okay, who came up with the like I said, who came up with the Southern thing? The lost cause. Oh, that was Woodrow Wilson, another Democrat, a politician that was bought by the banks. In fact, name a Democrat that hasn't been bought by a bank. Name one. All of them. Okay, Barack Hussein Obama. I predicted him in 2000. Barack Hussein Obama, he's nothing more than a mouthpiece for the white liberals. Their hands stuck up his butt and they're moving his lips and their words are coming out. Okay? Next thing, he was bought by Goldman Sachs. Okay, Bill Clinton, another Goldman Sachs
I bet you got a
Tony,
white
who was
woman.
actually was bought by Goldman Sachs just so that he could stay out of prosecution in Atlanta, not Atlanta, I mean Arkansas, just so he wouldn't be arraigned for his sexual misconducts. Okay, Jimmy Carter, he was a complete wuss, but he was a bought and paid for politician by Chase or what's that called again?
Goldman Sachs.
Not Goldman Sachs. Was that? Oh yeah, J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan. Yeah.
He
Chase.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
paid
Yeah.
by. He was paid. His whole campaign was funded by J.P. Morgan. Need I go on? These people, they've
Hey, hey,
lied to you.
hey.
They've lied
Let
to
me
you, and
let me.
here you are. You're just drinking the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid,
Brother.
deep throating the bottle, and then I'm
Brother.
a
Look,
proud
look.
Democrat. I'm a proud Democrat.
All right. All
I'm a.
right. Here we
Hey,
gonna
hey.
do.
Let me
Go right
let
ahead.
me say this
Go
again.
right ahead.
Let me say this again
Mm-hmm.
emphatically,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to make sure that you understand it. I am a proud black Democrat. Emphatically, I'm going to make this emphatically. I am proud to be a black Democrat.
You're a
I am
proud
proud
white
to be
liberal
a I am
slave.
proud to be a black
You're proud to be a
Democrat. To
slave.
following the
You're proud
footsteps
to
of
be
Adam
okay,
Clayton
okay, house
Powell,
All right,
Negro.
Powell
all right,
Jr.
You're
all
a proud
right.
house Negro. Got it.
Okay,
Proud house
hey
Negro.
brother,
Got it.
you can say what you want to say. Hey,
House Negro.
I can proudly also say that my children are all my children are about one beautiful black woman, chocolate black woman.
Okay, and that. Congratulations, you decided to stick your
Did you fuck
junk
with
in the
black women
hole.
or white women?
I don't care about race.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know.
I don't care about
I,
race.
I can't
See,
see.
the thing is,
I can't.
see,
I
the thing
can't.
is,
Okay.
this is the
I
size of your
can't. I
mind.
can't.
Hold on. Let him go ahead. Go
He
Race.
ahead.
This is where
he don't
race
care.
gets you. This
He don't
size of your
care
mind.
about race, but he don't
No,
care
I don't.
about race. But the enemy does. But the party he's aligned with does.
Oh,
Let me say this.
Hold on. Hold on.
party
One of
you
Hold
my
on.
belong.
heroes.
Before hold
One of
Everything
on.
my
they talk
heroes
Hold
about
on,
said
is
this.
guys.
race.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on for one
Wh-
moment.
One of my heroes said. I'm gonna just say
I'm gonna let
this.
him. I'm gonna let him.
One of the
Go
most
ahead. Go
revolutionary
ahead.
things that
Go ahead.
one of the brother. Just because you laughing ain't don't mean nothing.
I'm
I deal
laughing
with you
because
brothers.
everything you're saying sounds inverted and stupid.
I know.
You're
I know. I know.
intelligent.
I'm
You're
sure
book
there's
smart,
great
but you have
philosophers,
no
great
common
debaters,
sense. You're
great
book smart,
debaters.
but you have no common sense.
Hey, just like this, one of the greatest, one of the greatest revolutionary things that a black man can do is get with a black woman and procreate and create black babies. So you don't see race. I see you as an enemy. You're enemy number one.
Okay, okay,
Oh man, that
okay. I
bullshit
tell you what,
sounds so harsh,
You're
man.
an
you're my
enemy.
fucking enemy then.
Oh.
You're
Of
my fucking
course,
enemy then.
of
Since you keep
course,
Oh
calling me
man.
enemy, since you keep
you
calling
are
me
an
enemy,
enemy.
you're nothing more than a Sambo. A Sambo. You know
You
what?
are
I'm
an
an Uncle
enemy.
Tom. You're Sambo.
I can say
I'm taking them off the plantation. You want them back on the plantation. You want
I'm not
everybody to
gonna
be on
cut.
that plantation.
I know the history of Uncle
Plantation
Tom's
boy.
Cabin and about Sambo.
House Negro
I'm
Sambo.
not gonna
That's
call
your
you a
name.
goon. I'm not gonna call you no
House
racial.
I
Hey,
appreciate
hey,
it. Thank you.
let me say this right quick. I'm not gonna
House
call you no
Negro.
racial epithet because I know all those racial racist epithets
Mm.
were originated from racist white people. Guess what?
Uncle Tom
And they were
Sambo right
Democrats, and
there.
they were white
Uncle Tom
Democrats.
Sambo was
Yeah,
a
They
black
were
we in
white.
agreement.
Democrat.
Yeah,
Tho-
we in agreement on some things, guys. I'm gonna say this though. You know, you both make some great points, right? And I would never, like I said before, I don't consider you the enemy politically, whatever. I just don't like
I don't
using
either.
that
But
word.
since you want to call me one,
But
And he
I'm
is
just
the
saying that.
enemy. He is
But
the enemy. The
hold on,
more he
hold on.
talks, the more it's proven that he's an enemy.
the
He's
more
a
you talk, the
detriment.
more
He's a
brain cells
degenerate.
I lose.
Well,
The more you talk, the more brain cells I lose.
You are. I would say this: the more you talk, the more degenerate you become.
They sound. Look in the mirror saying that, boy.
The
Look in the
more
mirror saying
degenerate
that.
you become. And I say
Look
this
in
with a
the
smile on
mirror.
my face. I deal with you.
Look in the
I
mirror.
deal with you brothers all the time. You're upset. You're morbidly obese. If not morbidly, you're obese, just like Trump, and you're mad at the world. That's what it is.
ouch,
Sorry, but I'm
man.
not.
Oh my gosh, man, that hit me below the belt. You know, I mean, I'm a little overweight. Are you talking about me or Meg? I mean, I know I'm
You know,
overweight.
I'm talking about the mega Big Mama up there, Big Mama's house.
Oh,
Not you.
oh, I mean, well, I'd say this though, man. I mean, I hear your point. I really do. I mean, you came up here, right? And I appreciate that though, you know. I mean, both sides, like I said before, I don't, and I know he doesn't either, you know, consider, let's say, that far as the enemy word or whatever, my biggest thing is putting the political sides. We wouldn't probably never agree, right? It's like ordering a pepperoni pizza, right? Now, some of us don't eat pork. There's other toppings on there, right? And I look at the whole political thing like a pizza, right? Try to make it simple, right? We'll never agree on everything. Same thing with politics, same thing with religion, right? And that's fine. All I'm saying is that at the end of this live stream, which is winding down very quickly, I'm saying is that we can respect each other. We don't have to agree with each other when it come down to the politics or religion or whatever it is. See, and that's the thing about it. Having
And that was the
open,
point I was bringing up until somebody decided to go that road.
right, and I get it, and I understand though. The enemy thing was harsh. We got to keep it real. that right there. But I'm just
I
saying.
can't
But
I cannot stray from that.
I,
He is an enemy.
You
The
can't
more he
you
talks,
can't stray
the more.
you
okay,
can't stray
okay.
from the effeminate bullshit.
I
Got it.
tried. I tried, man.
The
I
more and
tried.
more.
You're my
But go
enemy.
ahead.
You're my enemy. That's what you sound like to me. You're my enemy. My enemy.
The more you
Only
talk,
women think like that.
the more you talk, the more you can be. It's obvious that you are the enemy. You're the
No, the
opposition.
more
You're
you
an
talk,
adversary.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Okay, you're starting to sound like a religious nut job. First of all, okay, you swap
Okay,
religion with the Democrat
your
Party.
opinion.
You decided that you want to pray to your Democrat gods.
Now I want to pray to my Democrat gods. Okay.
No, that's what you're doing. Okay, I'm calling a spade, and you want to say no, it's an entrenching tool shovel. That's what you're saying. I'm like, no, it's a
Hey,
spade.
hey, brother. Hey, the moderator. The
Okay.
moderator. The owner of this channel. Let me say
Yes, sir.
this.
Go right ahead.
Well, I voted Democrat for in the presidential for Kamala Harris. But let me
Yeah.
say this.
Go right ahead.
It was on my Facebook before it got deleted. I told everyone I'm voting for Kamala Harris, but she's going to lose. And I was telling people, don't be surprised if they was conspiring, or if they were conspiring against Biden with the because they in their wildest mind they thought that Trump wasn't going to get reelected.
I agree with you
They
on
really
that.
thought that.
Yeah.
They really thought that motherfucker wasn't going to get reelected. That's why they was
Mm-hmm.
so caught. She was so, and this is just my opinion. It's not no crack conspiracy theory. It's my opinion that they intentionally, her people intentionally did the border that way to
Mm-hmm.
have all these people flood in, because in their wildest dreams they couldn't even imagine, they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't fathom that Trump becoming reelected after having all these families, these so-called accusations of sexual assault, being convicted. They couldn't even imagine that. So I would say this again. I knew she was going to lose, but I still voted for her.
Right. 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 Go
And
right
and
ahead.
and, and I told the biggest mistake that Biden made was dropping out.
He would have lost
Okay.
George
anyway.
George Clooney, all of them was in cahoots with Kamala Harris. They was that much fucking power hungry.
Well,
They
you
were
know
in
what?
cahoots with
I'm gonna
a
say
party
I'm gonna say
itself.
this. I'm gonna say this though too, because you brought up George Clooney, and there was a quite and aren't these the same ones that raised a lot of money for Kamala Harris
Yes,
political party? I mean, now the thing about it with George Clooney, which I can agree with you on the fact that they pulled away because what a lot of people in America saw is that Kamala, she picked and choose when it came down to her debates. And what really
yep,
hurt her was when she was invited on the Joe Rogan show, right?
yep.
Joe Rogan, right? This is
Yep.
the number one podcaster, in the United States as well as what he's number one. When she did not get on there, right? Or it looked like he dropped. Yeah, wait, come back.
Number one with white
Right,
rankers,
right. Well,
with
yeah.
white
So,
men,
right,
with
okay.
white men.
Is he coming? Okay. I just want to make sure here if I can make her. Okay. Yeah, he dropped off. Okay. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, and that's the thing about it, There, I had, because I'm an Uber driver. I talked to a liberal white woman. We had a conversation, and many of them said I don't think that Kamala Harris is going to win because the people. Oh yeah, there you go. It was people that they didn't really see anything with her though. She was kind of, what I'm saying, ducking debates and so forth like this. And had she would have been more boisterous, like let's say if she would have been more like a we're talking about Hillary Clinton, right? With the 2015, 16 election, and she was out there. In fact, when I with Hillary Clinton, she was actually won the popular vote, but she couldn't get past the presidential electoral college. She couldn't get past that. Trump ended up winning it. But what the point is, and I know you agree with it as well, 77 million people voted for Trump. It was a landslide because look what he was running against. Even Trump knew it, right? I mean, she never. And another thing I'm gonna bring up, right, is the fact is that when it came down to Kamala, right, she was actually
All right, there we go.
Biden picked her, right, he flat out and said that I'm gonna have a black woman as vice president. End up being Kamala,
That's
right?
that's one reason why. No, it was that George Clyburn dude.
Uh huh.
No, he said he was going to Biden. If I'm not mistaken, I could be
Go
wrong.
ahead.
He said that he
Okay.
was going to pick a black woman as a Supreme Court justice.
Right. Right. It was
I
well.
think I think
Okay. Go ahead.
Clyburn, the dude
Mm-hmm.
from South Carolina, said
Mm-hmm.
he needs to pick a
Mm-hmm.
black woman or a
Right.
woman or
Right.
something like that.
There you go.
And
Right.
people talk all this shit. They talk all this shit about identity politics. Man, I knew she was gonna lose. It's absolutely no way in hell she could if she was running against anyone, even if it wasn't Trump, she would
Mm-hmm.
lose. If she was to run in the next election against Vance or whoever Rubio, she would lose again.
Yeah. She don't have a chance though. She's pretty much
A
done.
chance in hell.
No, she's pretty. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'm in agreement with that though too. But I want to make it clear with everyone. Regards to, it's like what Omega said earlier, right? You're given, as I always say, the lesser of the two, right? And I'm talking about with in this case it was Trump, in the regards to this. I mean, because what I'm seeing right now, though, like I said, no one felt comfortable with voting for Kamala. Mm-mm. Including myself. Nope. There was a time, as Omega would know, and I'm sure you would know as well too, where you had, like with Clinton. Who didn't vote for Clinton, right? There was a lot of people that voted for Clinton back in 1993, right? Over who? Because what was it? The
He
Bob
was
Dole? Uh-huh.
1990, no 1993. He went
Go ahead.
against George Bush Senior.
George Bush Sr. That's correct. Thank you. Thank you. And Ross
Yeah,
Perot, too. He was an independent. Ross Perot, right?
yeah,
The Texas billionaire, right? And things, though.
yep.
But he won who was it? Clinton won the popular vote, obviously, right? He was the better
Hmm.
choice at that point in time. But when we start dissecting their policies and we start looking at it, because the crime bill 1994, that was a
Right.
big issue in that
Yep.
affected the black and brown communities in the United States because it impacted us. This is one of the reasons why we had the Brady bill and all that came a little later. But what I'm saying is that we have systematic profiling, racist, so forth under that particular party, right?
Well,
Right. That's what I'm saying.
this
The '94
and
crime
let me
bill, right? Go
can I
right
say
ahead.
this right
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, you sure can. Go right
No, the
ahead.
Brady bill was the same year. It was 1993.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, thank you. Go right
This
ahead.
this
Go
is
ahead, Balanta. Go ahead.
there's a book out. There's a book that's been out. I've read it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I recommended to people. It's called Slavery by Another Name.
Yes,
After slave.
I'm
Are
familiar
you
with it.
familiar with that book?
I am. I haven't read it, but I'm familiar with the title. Well, go ahead.
So, and they got other multiple books about like how the mass incarceration of black people. That's mainly speaking on the history of enslavement or forced labor to black people after slavery ended. So people talk. Okay, now you know this
Mm-hmm.
party is labeled as the party of law and order throughout the 70s and 80s and 90s. Which party
Mm-hmm.
was that?
Are you talking about the Republican Party?
Absolutely. Okay, that's so what that crime bill. They came to Clinton and said, well, the only way you're going to get reelected, if you come up with a crime bill that can pretty much compare to what the Republicans are going to come up with. So he had to so-called align himself with Republicans with a crime bill. Now, the so-called which party did the commercial, the political commercial of the guy getting out of prison, the Horton guy? Was that the Republicans, correct? George Bush
Uh,
against Dukakis?
yeah.
Okay, so you remember this. So that bill that Clinton passed, the
Mm-hmm.
so-called crime bill with Biden, that
Mm-hmm.
was a watered down Republican crime bill.
So let me see. Let me get you. I want to make sure I heard you straight. So you were saying about the crime bill. It wasn't drafted by Joe Biden. You
No,
said it
no, no.
can't.
I'm no, no.
Uh huh.
What I'm saying is
Okay. Go right ahead.
Clinton had to run on that he was going to be tough on crime like the Republicans
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
Republicans are known as the party of law and order. We
Okay.
come down on we come down hard on crime, on
Okay.
drugs or whatever.
Right.
With
Okay. And then.
Bush, with Bush, I mean with Reagan, the war on drugs.
I
So
remember
he
that.
had to come. He had to pretty much try to like align himself to. Oh, well, I'm coming up with this crime bill. It's gonna reduce all this crime or whatever. So if the Republicans would have won the crime bill that incarcerated all these black men who was selling drugs and all this other stuff, when you compare it to crack cocaine versus powder cocaine, it would have been on steroids if it was a Republican crime bill. That's what I'm
But it,
saying.
but the thing about it, we all can agree in the room that that came from the Democrats, right, under Joe Biden. I
It
mean,
came with the
originally.
Democrats and the Republicans.
But no, what I'm saying is Joe Biden drafted it up, and I'm in agreement with you. I'm not defending the Republicans, because one thing about it is that before Trump, and that's just what I'm saying. What I know is that we were playing. That's why they call it a rhino. It's a Republican in name only. They're basically play on both sides like WWE, and this is one of the main reasons why. And I saw the BS game a long time ago. To be really honest with you, I never voted for the left or the right, and many people that follow me know that I was never a starch Republican, nor was I
Me
a
neither.
Democrat. I'm being really honest
Me
with you,
neither.
because I
Yet you're
saw.
sitting up here wearing a hat from the
Hold on,
Republican Confederate flag loving fascist party.
hold on for a minute. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. Hold on for a minute. What I want you to understand is that, and this is to your point, because I know you're making a point. I'm in
I tell you what,
agreement. I'm
define
in agreement.
fascism.
Hold on for one moment. I'm almost finished, and then I'm gonna let you have it.
Mhm.
Okay, ask the question. But I'm saying to you is that it's called, if you look him up, Rhino Republicans, right? Republican in name only. There's a list of them, right? And they've been playing both sides. And what the problem with Omega was trying to explain is that when we start to believe in a party versus the person and the policies, they have already got you, is what he's basically saying.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm
Okay,
saying, right? And
okay,
the reason that I wear
okay.
this hat, and the reason that, and I mentioned this many times, I wear this hat, make America great again. This originally came from Reagan. However, I like the idea that America could be great. It doesn't say Trump on here. Some of them do. But here it says make America great again, right? And
It's
I don't
patented. It's probably patented as a Trump slogan
but no, it's
and a
not. It's
Republican
not.
slogan.
No. It's patterned that way, but it's actually isn't. Because, like I said, when this was introduced, this came under Reagan. With the
Was,
stuff that
was
Trump is, but hold on, the stuff that Trump is saying, he's saying it because of Ronald Reagan, America first, make America great. That's where that really came from originally. It wasn't Trump's idea. He just ran on it. And we got to keep in mind, Trump was a Democrat far before he was a Republican. Trump have helped out many people, including Mike Tyson. That woman we just talked about,
Oh,
Jennifer
okay. Well,
Hudson.
we heard that
There's a
before. Now you're gonna go.
right,
Oh,
right.
he funded Jesse Jackson. He funded Al.
Brother.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
I respect it.
I
Hold
probably
on,
heard it 1,000
Balanta,
times.
hold on for a minute. You're hearing it, but you're not listening. That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing, though. You hear stuff, but you don't listen. I
Okay,
You
never.
that's your
are what
opinion.
you accuse other people of
I
being.
never. Right. Me
That's
personally,
your
I
opinion.
never. No, it's
No,
true.
that's not an opinion. That's true. You
Because like
are what you accuse other people of being. That's called a two-cocaine fallacy.
That's it's absolutely correct. I'll open up the channel. I'll let you speak. I'll let you talk. From me, I never attacked you one time ever.
I'm not
There's
attacking
no
you.
cynical. I know, but when the thing that started all this, when you said the enemy, and like I said, dang, brother. I was trying to wait for you to
Yeah.
say, well, that's too harsh. I was trying to wait for you to say, well, I shouldn't
I was
have
trying to give you
said
the
it that
benefit
way.
of the doubt too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because as brothers, see, one thing about it ain't just black people in the space, it's whites and other. And you know what's sad about this, my brother? It's that black folks, we have a poor communication when we're trying, or respect, I should say, when it come down to us in differences, because it's very cultish. You got to admit this as well, too. Because one thing I respect about the Jewish community, shout out to the Jewish family, the reason that I respect them so much, because They can have differences, but one thing they align with, you know what they're aligning, because of their unity is most important. And with blacks, you miss it every time. And I can
Exactly.
say,
And you can
and
have a
one thing, I'm gonna say this, and I'm
yeah.
gonna land my plane. And the reason is because we don't love each other. I always said that black folks in general do not love each other. The world see it. And one thing I can say this, and I'm gonna land my plane. We hate to love and love to hate. Just marinate on that for a little bit.
Yeah,
Hate
Exactly.
it's
to
obvious.
love
And that's
and
why you have
love to
that, and
Exactly.
hate.
that's why you wear the
Hate to
hat,
love, but
and that's why you wear
see,
the hat.
but brother, you miss it. See,
And you
and like I
keep
said,
doing it.
you keep. That's what I'm saying, and you're constantly doing it.
You keep doing
I
it.
never,
You keep
I
doing
never.
it.
I should be able to allowed to wear what I want to wear. This is America.
Of
Main
course,
thing that we
of
have in
course you
common.
can.
Hold on. The main thing is what we have in common is I'm a black man just like you. We experience the same types of situations just like you. You're dividing the
Hmm.
house. You're calling me the
Exactly.
enemy. You're calling me
You
this and that.
call it.
You're calling me. You may as
Yep.
well
Yep.
call me
Yep.
a
Yep.
coon. I
I
done
call
heard
you a
it before.
political
You might
enemy.
as well.
But see,
Exactly.
but that's why you're
That was the
laughing.
point.
But you
That was the
know,
point. Yeah, that was the point behind when
Of
I
course,
said, "Okay,
because
I'm the Uncle Tom and you're the Sambo." That was the whole point,
yes, I
and
get,
it
I
went
get it.
right over your head.
It did.
I never.
It went
Whatever,
way
whatever,
over your
whatever,
head.
Come on,
brother.
you gotta be,
Whatever,
you
whatever.
gotta
Yeah,
tell the
yeah.
truth. Because we
Whatever,
were to
whatever.
wind this thing back, if we were to wind it back, if
Yeah.
you would take the time, we were, because like I said, it's all recorded. And
Yeah.
and
Of course.
I know what I said, because I know I'm very well. I sat back patiently. I let you say your points and so forth, and I should be allowed to wear the hat. They ain't wearing no swastika, but according to your logic, I may as well be wearing a swastika. But
Who
you
said something?
entitled. No.
Who said
Listen,
something
see,
that you're not allowed to
hold,
wear the hat, brother? That's
hold on for a
protected by
minute.
your First
Here, hold
Amendment
on.
right.
But hold on, you got to admit, I'm using an analogy, right? Because what you said out of your, I'm saying for you, you're wearing a MAGA cap. This is you, brother, wearing. What's up with you wearing this hat? That was the whole
Yeah.
thing, though, right? You remember you said that? We
And
both you said it.
yeah, and
I,
basically you said,
brother,
if you don't
brother,
agree with me, you're my enemy.
let me say this.
Okay,
Let me say this,
I'm gonna
just
let
in
you go
case.
here. Go ahead. Go
Let,
right
let, let
ahead.
me say.
I'm
Let
not
me
offended.
just say.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not
I'm not
offended,
offended. I find this
but
hilarious, actually.
right.
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
offended. But
Let
go
me
right
say this.
ahead. Go right ahead.
I
Go
see,
right
I
ahead.
see, I see the politically ignorant Republicans, black conservatives wearing
I'm
the
not.
hat.
I'm not a
I,
conservative either. But go ahead.
I'm not, brother. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about who I see wearing the hat. Let me finish. I see black brothers wearing the hat with a cake with a Confederate flag on it. Talking about, oh, it's Southern heritage. My ancestors fought with the Confederacy. But then I said to myself, the Confederate didn't allow black.
Yes, they did actually.
They didn't allow them to
They were.
fight. You're lying.
Yes, they did.
You're lying. You're lying. No,
Okay,
they did
Google
not.
search it.
There's
Okay.
Google
fucking water
search it.
boys and fucking. There's fucking water boys and fucking
All right.
camp
Hey,
workers.
guys. I'm gonna say this though. I should have said
Sure.
this beginning.
But
Let's
let me
hold.
say this.
Hold
I'm
on for a
sorry.
minute. Hold on for a
But
minute. I'm just gonna say this real quick. We got to hold down on the profanity and stuff. I know I
okay,
made
yeah,
a
I
few
got.
bombs, because
Okay,
children and family. You know what I'm saying? It's Sunday. All right, go right ahead.
okay, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I see brothers wearing the Confederate hat. They wear shirts. They should in Atlanta. You even have some brothers in Atlanta, Georgia area wearing shirts and gear with the Confederate flag on it. That's your right. I'm not gonna. I'm totally. I don't approve. One reason I love East Africa because you don't see that degenerate transgender and gay
I'm gonna
shit
use the
over there.
restroom. Keep talking. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back.
But you have the right to wear that hat. You have the right to wear a hat with a swastika on it. You have a right to wear the hat with a Confederate flag on it,
Mm-hmm.
with the various types of Confederate flags. That's your right.
Mm-hmm.
You can still call it. I can still speak negatively about it, but I'm not
Sure.
gonna like say, "Oh, you should
Mm-hmm.
take that hat off."
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm not gonna
Hold on.
run up to a transgender or a
You
gay
know,
person like,
have you
"Oh
ever
man,
heard
you going in here?"
of if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all? Have you ever heard of that statement before?
Amen.
We're having dialogue
Because there's a
now.
lot of
If we
there's a
weren't
lot of times
Hold
I
on for
see
a minute.
stuff that I don't agree
Might
with,
have
and I
went
just
black,
don't
but
say
give me
shit
a
about it.
moment. Go ahead. You guys go ahead and talk.
we're right now we're having dialogue about certain things about that is sending out a political ideology or a message.
Okay.
And that's when I say like when was America great? It was in reference to that hat from a political party. from the MAGA party who was constantly wearing that hat. I'm not going to say, "Oh man, you a dumb
So
black man.
so
You need to take off that hat."
so you're going to neglect the fact that anytime that black people tried to stand up, it was always the white liberals that knocked us down. You're denying that fact.
It was. I'm saying the fact that it was. Hey brother, I'm gonna tell you something. Why? What makes me different from these so-called other black liberal trying to promote this queer ideology.
I
Trying
asked the question. I asked the question.
to me, my
Yes, I
personal
asked the
opinion.
question.
To me, my personal
Okay, go
opinion,
ahead.
and why I am affiliated with the Democratic Party because both the Democratic Party have two arms. They have a white arm and they have a black arm.
And the white
I'm
arm
with the black arm.
basically,
With
the white
okay,
arm
you can say
basically
what you
controls the
that's
black
your
arm. But go
opinion.
ahead.
You can say it.
No,
Okay,
it's a fact.
now we're gonna look at the power that that the Republican Confederate flag loving fascist party has. Where's their black arm at? They have no arms. Period. They have no say. Period.
Okay,
Tim
let me
Scott.
ask you this
Uh,
then. Let me ask you this then. Since you're throwing out 20 million buzzwords at once, because that's a typical leftist tactic. It's called gish galloping. Okay, what is fascism? Please
Go
define
ahead and
that.
look it up. I know what it is.
And I don't mean
Look it up.
dictionary fallacy. What is it? It,
Look it up and
we have
look it up.
no. The point of this operation is so that we can be on the same page. Not this, educate yourself. See, that's a typical B word, that's a typical B word tactic of the left. Okay. We need to define terms so that we could talk on the same page. So I need to know what you define as fascism.
What I define as fascism is what Benito Mussolini how he defined it.
Okay. Okay, he defined it. Okay,
Okay,
perfect,
brother, I told you
Benito
you are not
Mussolini. That's
talking to this
perfect.
ignorant person. So
That's
brother, I'm
perfect.
gonna say this. Just so I can prove that we're not on this. Just so I can make this point that we're not. So you won't take control of this. I'm not obligated to answer your question.
And that's another B word tactic of leftists that don't like to have discourse. So
Okay,
now let me go ahead. Let me go ahead. Let me
okay,
go ahead and let
brother.
me go ahead
I,
and take what you just said. I'm gonna steel man your argument. You said it's exactly what Benito Mussolini said. Perfect. Benito Mussolini said it is about the state, only the state, and all for the state. Anything that's outside of the state cannot function within our society. That's the first thing. Second thing was Benito Mussolini also stated that race is an emotional quantity that should not be subjected to the whims of the state. The state supersedes your race. Okay. Now, my question to you is this: which party reflects that more? Because as
okay,
far as I can see, as far as I can
okay,
see, as far as I can see,
okay. Since
the party that is venerating the state and statism is the Democrat.
Okay, now go ahead, Balanta. Go ahead.
okay, and like I said, just because he's trying to so question my intelligence or ask me to define these words or whatever that I've been using, and
I'm not
I'm a
questioning your
college educated,
intelligence.
and I've
If
been
I question your, I'm not questioning
okay,
your intelligence. If I
Go ahead, go
questioned your
ahead,
check this
go
out.
intelligence,
ahead. Let him
I
Just
would
go
have a
ahead.
just
Let
different
him
line
have
of
it. Let him have
questions.
it. Yeah,
just
let him go ahead. Go
just
ahead. Go
just
right ahead.
just just so I can get up under your skins by not answering, I'm gonna keep doing that. Hey, but check this out. Like when he said that what Mussolini and race, who was during World War II or earlier, wh- who was the first people or nation
Albatross.
to use who was the first nation to use chemical weapons on the people, and he still couldn't defeat them.
You tell me.
It was Mussolini on Ethiopia.
Okay. But then at the same time, too, the United States used chemical weapons. Everybody used chemical weapons. So it was a state. It was the constant state of being. And
And what you said about do you know? Do some research of what Mussolini was saying
no, I,
about
I, I
the
know
black
all of this
Ethiopians.
stuff. Okay. What you're doing
If he
is
actually
what
said what
you're
you say
doing
he
is
said,
called
he
an
contradicted himself.
exclusionary fallacy. What you're doing is called an exclusionary fallacy. You're only
You keep
focusing in on one little point
okay.
All right, let
You
him.
know
ignoring
some
the whole
debate
board.
All
turn.
right,
You know some debate turn. You keep saying what I'm using. Okay, but I'm still smashing you though.
No, you're not.
You still getting
You're
smashed.
making yourself look silly. You're making yourself look silly.
You can say that.
You're the one who's exasperated right now. I'm calm. Now,
Exasperated.
you're the one
I,
who's exasperated.
right. I'm gonna ask the room for a minute before we shut this down and stuff. Hey, room. I'm not gonna say my opinion about it, but I'm gonna give the pleasure to the room, right? Because they. But at any event, who you guys think that won the debate tonight? Was it Balanta? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. My memory sometimes, man. Balanta, is it? Is that pronounced that right? I want to make sure I say it right. Oh man, boy. Or Omega. Which one, guys? Y'all think that won the debate? I just want you guys. We got Black Guy 9 though. Omega. Anybody else that's not a moderator? I forgot to mention that because it's gonna appear biased. Anybody else?
Hey, he said I was. He said I was. What did he say? I was flabbergasted or what?
I'm gonna let you.
Exasperated. It's a simple sixth grade spelling word.
Okay, okay, yeah. I'm gonna start. You using those big words. I'm gonna start talking like Mike Tyson.
Okay,
I'm not
we got another one.
exasperated.
Hold on for a minute, y'all. We got another person, DK.
He's
Fisher.
flabbergasting me.
He says, "Def, not the mag." He's saying definitely not the MAGA retard is what he's saying because he had that's what he's saying though. I've been called much worse though. But like I said, and I could laugh about it though, as I know I'm not retarded
I don't care.
and I haven't been triggered. But that's
I
his
don't care.
opinion. So
Yeah,
we got
exactly.
1-on-1 so far. He's okay. Anyone
I had the
else?
mega retard.
Is there anyone else? I mean, Happy Mac is even laughing. He's a mod, but yeah, like I said, is anyone
Mega
else
butthead.
right now? Anyone between Balanta or
Omega.
or
Omega
Omega, right?
butthurt.
Thank you. Right. I mean, we just want to know because we
I'm
got
not
one.
MAGA. That's the funny thing.
Yeah,
The
he's
funny
not.
thing is you straw manned me. I am
You
you want
say
to know
what
what
you
my
want to say,
political
brother.
alignment you want to know what my political alignment
You
is?
say you say what you
My
want to say,
political
brother.
alignment.
Man.
MAGA is
My poli-
written all over your face.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Your whole
Uh
personality is MAGA. Your whole personality is Trump.
whole personality is bending on your knees in front of Joe Biden's zipper.
Your
But I'm not saying
your
that.
whole personality is
My
MAGA.
personality, no, my personality is step on my lawn, and I'll give you a reason to get
Everything you
off of
say
it.
about the Democratic Party, oh, liberal this,
Everything I
left
say.
is that, is nothing but MAGA,
Oh,
Republican, conservative,
anyone.
crackpot
Oh, okay.
talking
Anyone.
points. That's
That's
all
called
it is.
collectivism. That's called collectivism.
Oh,
Anything that doesn't agree with me is ergo
somebody
MAGA.
said, "Hey, it's
Got it.
Uncle Ruckus." I ain't got Uncle Ruckus. Somebody said,
Of
"Hey, it's
course,
Uncle
it's
Ruckus."
obvious.
It says
It's
the
No,
obvious.
it's not.
37s.
They
It's
know.
called
They know.
binary
Happy
thinking.
Mac said the
You're
Republicans
either
win. The
one
truth
thing
is
or
our
another.
side.
Got it.
It's in our side.
So
It's on our side. Yeah.
if you don't support any of that the gender stuff, you're not a real Democrat. Then you're MAGA.
In fact, let me
Because
ask you
I'm
this.
not a
Oh,
real
Balanta,
Democrat. See,
Balanta.
that's what
Let
I'm
me
talking about.
right. Well, let me.
That's what I'm talking
According
about.
to the Democrats,
Okay.
you're MAGA. If you believe it, let me use your own argument. Then let me use your own argument. Okay, you agree that marriage is between a man and woman,
Nothing wrong
right?
saying I
That's
want to be
MAGA.
nice.
You believe
Nothing wrong
that
with being nice. I've been nice all day.
that transgender you believe that transgender children shouldn't be a thing? Oh, that's MAGA also. That's your party, man. Your party is incoherent.
Let me say who is it
Incoherent.
Okay, go ahead.
who
Go ahead. Go right
that
ahead.
hey, 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 let me say this.
Yes, sir.
That
Go ahead.
Besant that dude the Besant dude, the treasury secretary, is he gay?
Oh, you
I
talking about
don't
you talking
care.
about Scott Bessent?
Is he
Scott
gay?
Bessent.
I don't
Is
care.
he a married homosexual?
I I
I
I,
don't know, and I don't
I don't.
care.
Yeah,
Who was he appointed by?
I don't know.
he was
He was
appointed by
appointed
Trump,
by the
wasn't he?
Trump administration.
He
Yeah.
was appointed by Trump,
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
but we don't care.
and he's a
See,
gay
here's the problem.
homosexual.
I
He's a
don't
gay
care.
white homosexual.
Well, I was gonna say
Okay,
this.
here's the thing.
Go
Here's the
ahead. Go
thing.
right
I
ahead. Go
don't
right
care
ahead.
what you. I don't care what you do in your own bedroom. Okay, I really don't care. Okay, you could you. I'll be even as blunt to say you could, as long as you don't do it in public, you could do whatever you want in your own bedroom. I don't give a rat's ass. Okay, that's the for starter. So your straw man argument against me is wrong. You have
I'm
no
not using a
idea what
straw
my
man
political
argument against
alignment
you.
is.
You just was saying something about the Democratic, Republican, Liberal Party is like pro homosexuality, and I'm just saying your Fuhrer, Trump,
And see,
your
there you go with
Fuhrer
the straw
Trump,
man. There
your
you
Fuhrer
go with
Trump
the straw man ad hominem.
appointed a gay homosexual white
Can
man
you talk?
as the
Can you
Treasury
talk with?
Secretary.
Can you talk like you got some damn sense for a second?
Okay.
I
Now
know,
here.
hey, brother, hey, the owner of this room.
Can
I
you
just
talk?
Yeah.
said,
Can you
Mm-hmm.
talk like you
I
have
just
some
said his
sense?
Fuhrer. Hey, brother,
Uh-huh.
He's
brother,
not
ask
my
him what I
leader. He's not.
tell.
He's
Fuhrer
talking
means
Tell him
about
what
leader
is
in
You
German.
talking about
Okay,
Donald
he's not
Trump.
my
my.
leader.
But you talking
Hey,
about
He's not my
brother,
leader.
wait, be quiet, be quiet. Just so the guy who room we in can
you
understand
can
what I'm
call me
saying.
Tony. You can
When
call me
when I
Tony
when I- when I-
Love.
when I say his when I say his Fuhrer,
Uh-huh.
that's like that's like a
I know.
German term,
I
a
know.
German like for a leader,
We
like
know.
Hitler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
just
My
know.
said that.
Fuhrer. So
He's not my leader.
that's your Fuhrer. That's
I
your
don't have.
leader.
I don't have a
That
leader.
white
What are you
boy,
talking
that
about?
white boy is the leader.
You know
That
what?
white
You
boy
know
is
what?
the
I don't have a
leader. That
leader. What
white
are you
man
Hey,
is the
talking
guys.
about?
leader.
Now let me make this. I'm
I
gonna make
don't
this
have a
final.
leader. What are you talking about?
We're gonna make this final point because
That white man is the leader. That
I'm
obese,
gonna
that
make this.
obese
Hold on,
pedophile is the
Balanda.
leader.
Hold
If
on
he's
for a
my
minute.
leader, he's
Hold
your
on for a
leader
minute.
too.
Hold on for a minute. I'm just gonna
He
say
is the
this though.
president. He's your leader then
Hold on for a
too.
minute. I'm gonna say this though too. I'm gonna say this. What I'm saying before I gotta shut it down. I'm way over, and I appreciate
Yeah, I know.
both of you guys coming on here. And like I said, I've been called much worse, but not saying you, my brother Balanta, called me out my name for certain. I didn't have, and I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with anybody in this room.
Did
But
I
what I'm
call you
going,
out your name?
no, you did not. That's what I'm saying, and I appreciate that. You did not. You did not. What I'm saying is, it's simply this. It's been great though, guys. Overall, we may not ever be able to agree on that, but what we're gonna say is, and the reason why that Omega brought up the homosexual thing, right? The same-sex marriages, the LGBT, right? We know that Obama, right, weaponized them, right? The 4%, the
Exactly.
LGBT, they pushed the policy and it leapfrogged over the black community, like other groups of
Exactly.
people as well. This is the problem that we have. We have to now. I'm gonna just be honest. If I was a Democrat, a starch hard Democrat, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna call the party out on things that I don't think is fair, right? Because same
And I
thing
would
when
do.
they allowed these illegals, they brought the illegals over here, catch
Hmm.
and release, and brought them. What did they drop them off in? In black and brown communities, right? And
Yep.
they did. And then look what ended up happening. They got the set asides. They got the programs. What we
Hmm.
call the set aside programs and stuff. What frustrates me, and it may be Omega, but I'm gonna speak for myself. What frustrates me is that like I can call out things on the Republican Party. I got some
I
gripes with
can
them.
too.
And one thing about it is, as a Republican, right, they can go out here and criticize the things on their party, but something on the left that I never see, they never criticize, because I got a problem, not with the LGBTQ, but I got a problem when you have a president, an ex-president, which was Obama, that have weaponized them, put money on the LGBT. They never did it. Well, I have another issue too. Kamala Harris. Oh, I never said I was going to do anything for black people. I mean, this is the issue. Why go
Exactly.
for something and get nothing, right? I'm
Brother,
saying
if you're gonna say, brother, if you're gonna say
brother.
something, he didn't say that. She didn't say that. She didn't say that.
She did say that. She absolutely did. I can pull up the video
Let
right
me let
now.
me tell you what she said. Let me tell you
Yeah,
what
go
she
ahead and
said.
pull a video up.
Hold on.
Pull a video up.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna pull the video up. Go ahead and tell us what she
Yeah, pull
said.
a video.
Go right ahead.
I'm gonna tell you.
Go right
She was
ahead.
like, no, I'm not just gonna do anything just to benefit black people. If I do something for black people, it's gonna benefit. It's gonna be beneficial to everyone.
But I'm gonna call
That's
you.
what she
I'm
said.
gonna challenge you on that. Okay, so if that's
That's
what
what
she
she
said.
said.
Okay, so I'm gonna challenge you on that. Right? I'm gonna challenge
Now
you on
play the
that.
video. Now play the video.
I can play the video, but I'm gonna challenge you still on that, right? Because the point is, we know that we
Are
never
you playing the
see.
video?
No, hold on. See, now you're being, now you're being. Can I? It's my show,
You just
and
said you
I'll
were
play
gonna
it.
play the
But
video.
I'm gonna play it when I want to play it, not when you tell me to
But
play it.
your boy,
No.
Omega said play the
Okay.
video.
All right. No. You're gonna play it, but it's my show. It's not Mega's show. It's my show. This is my show. And plus, I'm just saying, it's my show. All right. So therefore, as I was saying before, my brother, before I was so rudely you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've been very fair. You got to admit that. Am I correct? Can anybody in the room?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have I
You're
been
right.
very,
Yeah.
very fair? I've been very fair, man. But it goes back to my point again. Black people as a whole is missing that one thing in this love, LOVE.
Or community.
And the second thing is communication. Right?
That too.
Because I can look at my differences with you and I can say, hey, Balanta, we can hang out. We can go out to the well or whatever. And that still stands right now. I have no animosity towards you. I would never want to pick up a weapon, let alone towards anybody. So why should it? That's my whole point. America is about choice, right?
Exactly.
That's what this whole situation is about. It's about the choice that we make. That's what we defend, my brother. We are defending choice. Just like you have
You
that
find that
choice.
video yet? Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
You find that
You know what
video
I'm
yet?
saying? Yeah. But what would be the point, though? To prove that you were right?
No, the point is what would be the point is that you said you was gonna bring it up.
Okay,
That
and
you
that's
was gonna
good.
pull it up.
And I'm gonna be a man on my word. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'm gonna be a man on my word. But I need to know honestly, what is your real point of it, though? Even though I said it, but what was
The
your
real
point? 'Cause
point is just to see
holding me to the flame to it.
just to see, did she say that verbatim what you said she said,
Okay, hold
or
on
did
for a
you
minute.
just take a snippet of it?
No, I was gonna say I would never take a snippet of it. I'm gonna play the whole thing. One thing about me, I'm also fair as well. I don't do what the people on the left do, where they take snippets of Trump, because we can go back and forth with this thing. Because I can bring up some stuff on him too. In fact, why don't we do this? We could just make it more biased instead of just being biased on one side. Play the whole thing, listen to the whole thing, and I'm all about fairness. But what you're trying to thread the needle is about, play the whole thing. And I was planning on playing the whole thing. All right, hold on.
No, it's not the whole thing. The whole thing can be like a minute of what you was saying. She didn't say like, well, I'm not gonna do anything for black people. She was like, no, not just for black people. It's gonna benefit everyone.
Never. We haven't seen that from the left, is what I'm trying to say. But hold on, let me pull it up. Hold on for a minute. Kamala Harris. All right. Hold on for a minute.
It gets me how these black guys who try to say they're not with a party, but when you start listening to them and they talk, left this, liberal
Okay.
this, it's
Okay.
obvious that they align themselves with the Republican, Confederate flag loving fascist
If
party.
you're not on my
Okay.
team, you're on another team. That's
Right.
called a fallacy, buddy.
That's what he's been saying the whole time. And see, what I found, what you just said, it's been very
If
disingenuous.
you're not a communist, you're a fascist.
Right. You're being very disingenuous.
Exactly. You're being
Because
disingenuous and
there's a prejudice. There's a prejudice that you have against us. We don't have a prejudice against you.
I don't have.
Just gonna tell the truth, though, Balanta. Just tell the truth. You have a prejudice.
Be honest.
Just being honest.
You have a prejudice against anyone who does not agree
You
with
ain't
you.
gotta do a slick diss. Just
You
be
have a
honest.
prejudice against anybody who
Everybody in the
doesn't agree
room,
with you.
I'm just saying.
everyone in the room. I'm gonna be honest with you after you play the video of what Kamala Harris said. Go ahead.
While I'm looking it up, Omega, go ahead and
Now
talk
he
to
looking
him
it
about
up.
Yeah, but I am.
Now you're
gonna
gonna
look at it.
say
Now I was going to in the beginning. Now you trying to make it sound like, well, I wasn't gonna do it. I told you I was gonna do it when I was gonna do it. But you can't play the semantics game with me now. One thing about it is that you've been disingenuous the whole time, my brother. And I call you out. I've been calling you out. I've been calling you out, and I'm being nice at the same time. I've been automatically seeing what you're doing, right? The whole time. It's all disingenuous. You have a prejudice towards us. We don't have a prejudice towards you, like with most people on the left.
Democrats are a party of prejudice. I forgot about that.
And that's what it is. You're proving it. You think you
You're
ever
proving my
came up
point.
here? I'm gonna just
You
say that
think
you
you're
thought
not
you
proving
came
my
up here.
point, but you're proving
No,
my point.
right, because you
You,
thought you came up here
brother,
tearing it up. You didn't tear it up. You know what
brother,
I'm
you
You're
saying?
act
just
like
proving
I'm
my
being
point.
you
No,
act like I'm
because
being secretive.
it's your insecurity, sir. I'm
No,
not
no.
Exactly.
responsible for your
Hey,
insecurity. You are
you
insecure
act like
and
I'm
you
being
feel it. You
secretive.
know what? You know what? When the
You act
person,
like I'm
you know
trying to
what?
sneak
No, no,
shots
no, no,
in.
no, no, no.
When I
What it
first
is,
came in the
what it
room,
is,
I
what it
immediately
is,
said,
what it is. So let me just say, let's get down to it. I'm gonna just say what it really is, right? What I've been saying, right? When I say insecure, when you kept saying, well, he act like he's talking to a dummy. He talking this and that. When intelligent people is really truly intelligent, they would never say that. They could stand on their
okay,
own
okay.
words with an argument. And you did say that. You was
You
like,
did
yeah,
say that,
he
and
trying to,
I only went
yeah,
off on you when you started with me.
yes. You gotta admit
Hey,
it. When we
let me say
wind it
this,
back,
brother.
when you wind it back, I
Okay,
want
rewind
you
it
to
back.
look at that. When you
Keep
wind it
keep
back, right?
my first one
Now
of
I'm
my
gonna go and
first
look this
statements
up.
when I
Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna
oh,
look it
okay,
up. Go
okay,
ahead.
okay, okay.
All right, go
Let me
ahead.
just say this.
Let me say it.
One of my first statements when I came in here to make
Uh-huh.
sure, and I want the people who came in here late,
Go ahead.
and I want them to know where I stand. One of the first statements I said
Mm-hmm.
when we had discussion about this, I called both of them my political enemies. That's what I said. I didn't cut. I didn't cut around. I didn't like sugarcoat it. I didn't like try to sneak it in. I said it emphatically. One brother said, "No, you shouldn't say enemy. You know, enemy. That's kind of too harsh, brother." No, no. I'm like, no. I'm sorry. You guys are my enemy, adversary.
Now you don't think that
I
you
can't see it
remember?
any
Can I
other
ask
way.
you?
You guys are. I'm
Right.
sorry.
I mean, and see, and what you, this is, this is.
And the more
I'm not
and the
shocked.
more you
You
talk, and the more
proving
you
my
talk,
point. You are
and the more you
proving my
talk, you
point.
become more
You
of a
are,
political
but you
enemy.
are proving my point. What I said
You're proving
earlier,
my
and
point
people,
too.
yep, and people in the room remember, black people as a whole do not love each other. They see us as
I love black
enemies.
people.
No, you don't. No, you
I love
don't.
no
No,
no
you
no.
don't.
No, you
No, you
don't.
I
don't.
love
No, you don't.
brother
I'm gonna
No,
tell
you
brother.
you.
don't.
I'm
I
gonna
wish
call you
no
out on it.
harm.
If
I'm
you
gonna
call
tell you. I'm gonna call
if
you
you
out.
call anyone your enemy, that means
Yes.
you do not love them.
That is correct. And you came in here originally and said that. I let you
Exactly.
talk.
As long
I let you talk. I
long
could,
as
if
you
I was in my
profess,
feelings, about you, Melandis, if I was in my feelings about you, I would have took you down a long time ago and kicked you off. But I did not do that. I let you talk.
you wouldn't
I let you
because
try to explain yourself. I say, brother,
according to MAGA,
I,
Omega,
there you go.
according to
You
Omega,
never
that would have
called me.
been effeminate.
You never
That
called me as the.
according
You
to
never called.
Omega,
You know what?
First
You
of
know
all,
what? Hold on. Hold on for a minute.
according
Hold on
to
for a minute.
Omega,
Hold on for
that
a
would have
minute.
been
Hold on.
effeminate.
No, but here it is. Here it is. And another thing I find disrespectful when you don't address a man. I said to you many a times. I said you can call me Tony, right? And I
I
know,
didn't hear you say that,
but like I said, you called me MAGA, all this other stuff. I'm saying I'm a man.
brother,
I'm a man. I
brother.
wear this.
I
You know,
never caught you that. No, no. I said you align yourself with the Republican Confederate flag loving fascist party. I never caught you a MAGA
and
fascist.
we
I
already
never.
just
No,
proved
no. I
that the
never did that.
fascist party is the
but
Democrats.
you
But go ahead.
shouldn't get butthurt over whatever it is. I'm not butthurt over
I'm
you,
not bothered
and
about the fact that you're ignorant.
but I'm not butthurt about you being a Democrat. Period.
I'm not.
But you still
I
trying to
don't
put a
care that you're a
person
Democrat.
in a box. It's called being a cult. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Every cult has a cult leader, and they always are the minority group. You do realize that you are the
Brother,
minority group. You are. You
brother,
always have been. I'm just being honest.
brother,
The left is a minority group. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm gonna
brother.
play this
I
video.
said this again.
Go
You
right ahead.
can be what you want to be. You can be a far right Confederate flag loving individual, black individual. You can like
You
say,
don't.
well,
Okay.
my mind. Oh, are you
If
gonna let
that's
me
the
finish,
case,
Hold on,
brother?
hold
if
on.
that's the
I'm saying
case,
I'm not.
if that's the case,
Let
why
him
do you
finish.
have to
Let him go.
constantly
Let
Are
him
you
use
gonna
those
finish.
let?
Let him
I told
buzzwords?
finish.
you,
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Omega.
I'm gonna finish. Go right ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
When I was saying Omega, Omega, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the brother who called himself Omega, but he's
Might
really
be a
want to be
feedback.
called Omega because he's an
Okay.
ultimate MAGA
Okay.
personality on
Can
the
I
internet.
interrupt you,
I
my
am
brother?
not a
Can I?
MAGA
My
personality,
brother.
you dumbass.
Yeah. My brothers. I mean, if I can respectively, let me mute this for one moment because if I play the video, it's gonna have a feedback. So I'm gonna have to mute
Yeah,
you both.
Yeah,
go
go
ahead and
ahead,
play
mute
it.
it.
Right? Okay. There we go. I'm gonna play it. Hold on for
You
me.
about to play it? Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me just go ahead and up here, and okay, there it is on a multi-track. And then what we're going to do is let me mute you guys for a minute. Okay. All right, they're still there. I just got them on mute. I'm going to play the video as promised. You guys should hear it, that you won't be able to speak. Hold on for a minute. I think this is it right here.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this: any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Okay, so that is the whole thing in its entirety, which I was planning to do originally. I got you brothers on mute right now. I'm going to unmute. But before I do, I just want to put this out here. Now, we have a guest in here. You know, some of you guys remember Omega from the past. Now, the point that I'm criticizing about this thing, if we had a history from the Democratic Party on the left, we're talking about from slavery all the way up. How are we going to say what we believe this person here when we already looked at Kamala Harris's track record, right? Along with black men, incarceration for frivolous charges, 1,500 of them to be exact. We have a history of seeing this, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the reason why many blacks called her out just like we called Obama out, right? That's all we're trying to say. We can criticize the right because, like I said before, if we look at the Bushes, Junior and Senior, and a few others, though, you know, we know that they were bought men, just like Omega mentioned before. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute it. I just want to get that point out real quick. And I'm about to shut this down, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead on and I'm going to go ahead and take off. And we're going to go ahead and unmute the guests. And there you guys go. You guys are good now. You guys can be able to talk. Who want to go first? Go right ahead.
I'll let him go first.
Go right ahead. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now. Go right ahead.
Okay. So, So do I stand corrected what I said she said?
And I knew you were going to do this. You're trying to get a gotcha moment.
I'm not. Okay, brother.
She said it ex post facto.
That is absolutely correct because you want validation to say, "Hey, I was right." We never said you were wrong.
We never said you were wrong.
That's the whole point. Come on now, brother.
That's called straw manning.
Man, come on,
You've been straw manning the entire time you were here. Straw man, straw man,
What
straw
I
man.
just did.
I'm not even. Let me explain my voting history. Let me explain my voting history.
What I just did by having you. What I just did by calling you out. What you said, Kamala said.
Hold on. I gotta mute you.
And you take the video to validate and to put it in context.
I gotta mute him, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't want to do that because, like I said before, we know what the tactic that he's doing. And I find it to be very disingenuous, right? And you are. So I can't allow you to get that off because that wasn't the case. I made a mistake about what she said. I stand on that. But don't sit up in here and try to put words in my mouth by saying that, and I played the whole thing. If I was disingenuous, I would have just did the soundbite like what y'all do on the left. You trying to run it back. On my channel, it's a little different. I'm open for debate, but please don't put no words in my mouth. And if, like I said, if we can't get past this, I can keep it mute because it's my show. And I got to start showing power and authority right now, right? It's my show, right? So I ask that you respect the host. And I've been moderating it, and there were some things I should have checked earlier, but that's okay, right? Because I was being fair, right? So therefore, respect my wishes regards to my show, and we're going to respect each other. But you're not going to get a gotcha moment, right? We don't do that here. We allowed to make mistakes, and you've been making a lot of them. I'm going ahead and unmute it. But you've been making a lot of them, my brother. And I got to call you out on some of the stuff that you've been doing. Go right ahead. Now I done unmuted you. I don't have to do it again, but go ahead. We're going to respect each other over here. I know we don't love each other. All that is crap. That's cap, as
Okay,
a young guy would say.
whatever.
That's crap.
Well,
It's cap. It's cap.
okay, I'm not. I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna say anything about it. But what I said about what she said is what I said, and it was validated after you played the tape.
If I didn't feel like it was
Now
going
go
to be
on.
valid,
Go ahead.
no,
Now,
but
now
I'm
go
saying,
ahead.
no.
You
I'm
may
saying,
proceed. You
hold
may
on.
proceed.
I'm
You may
trying to.
proceed.
I'm trying to. Thank you for the likes. What I'm saying, I got to shut the show down too. But what I'm saying to you, I'm going to say this. I'm going to move past the Kamala thing. What I'm saying to you, my brother, when you get a chance, go back in the recordings and please listen. Don't listen with prejudice, but try to have an open mind and listen into where the breakdown came from between you and the Mega, right? That's the thing about it. I held my position. I let you talk. I would never use the term enemy, right? I would never use that. I would never do that. I can say other things, my adversary, a
I wouldn't even
rival,
use that.
but
I
yeah,
just say
I got
opposition.
yeah, opposition, right? I got you. But either one of those things, I'm okay with it, right? But the enemy, oh my goodness, you try to dress it up as an enemy, meaning politically. That rhetoric got people killed. It's the same thing for the
Exactly.
ex-Nazi. You got to keep in mind, I'm holding you, and I want you to be, I don't know how old you are, but I'm going to, and that may not matter in a particular case, but you have to be careful with the wording that you say. That's what I'm trying to say. Can we agree on that? Because don't you think that the word enemy was really a bit harsh? Can we agree on that?
I see you as an adversary. I see you as a hostile individual to my political and to my political
Hostile.
beliefs.
Hostile.
So,
See,
Hold on.
so,
only person that
so
Hostile.
said anything about
you're
hostility
an
is you.
enemy or whatever, Omega.
I
The
can't
only
with you,
person
man.
that's MAGA is the
Oh
guy
man.
wearing the MAGA hat. Okay. If you want to know my political position, I didn't vote
I
for
do
Trump
know it.
in 2016. I mean, yeah, I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. In fact, I didn't vote for either one of them because I thought both of them were clowns. Okay, what sold me on Trump was the economy. I knew what the deal was. It was the Democrats shutting everything down, uh, shutting things down, causing the economy to come to a halt. So what I did was I voted for Trump against the Democrats. Okay,
Who do you
and
claim? Who do you
again,
claim for
Oh,
for
hold
again,
the
on.
COVID
Hey
debacle?
guys, can I just have you on hold? I see somebody breaking my rules. Hey, black guy, in 9, are you in there or Happy Mac? There's a guy that's throwing out pedophile, all this other stuff, assaulting the host. Could you go ahead and take them down for me real quick? I don't mind people having an
Did we?
opinion. Yeah, please
No,
go ahead and remove
I,
that person.
I didn't bring up anything about
No, 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 no,
Donald
no,
Trump
no, no, no,
and
no, no.
being and
No. I know you didn't. I'm talking
no,
about
we're
this
not
guy
talking about
here.
you. We're talking
We
about the
talking about
comment.
Walkie.
I know,
Please,
I know.
Walkie.
I said I didn't
Take
get that
Walkie
far yet.
down.
That's what I was
I
saying.
understand. I understand. But I want you to take that guy on out of here. I appreciate it, Happy Mac. Yeah, Winky. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sayonara. See you later. Avita swing. You know what I'm saying? Au revoir. Right? All right, we got rid of that because one thing I can't throw those out.
Where there's smoke, there's pedophilia. I just want to say that.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but like I said, we
Yeah.
And
can't
opinions are
discuss.
like assholes.
Right. Everybody has one, right? But I'm gonna have to shut this down, guys. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's been great.
Well, let me give
But
my
I'm gonna
last
let you go
closing
ahead and
remark.
I'm gonna let you guys have your closing
Yeah.
remarks. Yeah.
Go ahead, Omega.
Well, first of all,
Oh my gosh.
slave boy. Here's
Gosh,
here's the
man.
thing. Um,
Ultimate
I'm not
Omega.
really
Go ahead.
I'm not really MAGA. If you want to classify my political alignment is closer to the Libertarian Party. Libertarians are not really big fans of Trump either. I'm not a party libertarian because the simple fact is that the Libertarian Party are a bunch of kooks. But if you want to slice my political alignments down, I'm like this. You can do whatever the heck you want to do in your own house as long as it doesn't affect me because whatever I do will not affect you. Okay, that's my political position. If you are an enemy of that, that means that you are an authoritarian. That means that you want to control what I do in my own house because the opposite of what am for is what you are for. So what I'm for is you do what you do in your house, I do what I do in my house, and we mind our own business. You said you're my enemy and you're my opposite, then therefore that means that you are a fascist because you want the state to come into my house and tell me what to do to align to you. That's what fascism does, okay? And that's actually what the Democrat Party has been doing for the past 20 to 30 years as of right now. They have been imposing upon other people. In fact, many of the laws, the blue laws, many of the gun control laws, because here's the thing, Democrats are the main people that don't want black people to own guns. I'm for if you are of sound-minded body, the Second Amendment is there. I am a constitutional absolutist. The Second Amendment is there for you as long as you're a law-abiding citizen. In fact, I teach concealed pistol classes on the side. Okay, so the thing is, the way I look at it is this: I have my point of view, and my point of view is aligned with individual liberty and individual prosperity. Okay. If you're opposed to me or enemy to me, that means that you oppose those values.
Thank you for the like. All right, go right ahead, Balantis. Go ahead. You got the final, and then that's it. I'm gonna shut it down. Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
I oppose your political ideology, your asinine political opinions, or whatever you had to say. Yeah, I totally. So
Fascism.
if that
Okay.
makes me your enemy, I'm proud to be
No,
your
that makes
enemy.
you a fascist.
Seriously,
No, I'm not.
that
You're not my enemy. You're just a
Wow.
fascist.
Wow.
You're just a fascist.
fascists are my enemies. So I hope
No,
Wow.
no,
if you come across some fascists or
fascism.
Antifa,
I am
people,
against. I am against a state telling me what I can do in my own home. If you oppose me, that means you are for the state telling me what I can do in my own home. The only political alignment that has that as on its agenda are fascism. So do you believe that I should have the state telling me what I can do in my own home?
it depends on what you want to do in your own home. If it want if it want
It
to be a
shouldn't depend.
pedophile,
We're not even see now
Yeah.
now you're going to the extreme. I'm not even talking about
no,
breaking
no,
the law, okay? I'm pro law, first of all. Okay, so pedophilia is illegal and it's immoral. Okay, so you can throw that out of your whole vernacular. Next.
brother, you can do what you want in your own home. I totally agree with you.
hmm
But
So, so,
unfortunately,
so, so, so,
your Fuhrer
I
doesn't feel the same way. The guy who you voted for doesn't feel the same way. Uh,
actually he does.
he's calling out these free thinking people who don't agree with him.
Actually, he does. Actually,
His
he does.
enemies of the
He
state,
doesn't.
enemies
He
of
doesn't care
America.
what he does. He doesn't care what you do in your own home. The Democrats. Oh, we want you to stop using gas stoves. In fact, we want you to have electric
More,
stoves from now on. We
more,
want you,
more,
the
more
Democrats.
crackpot,
Oh,
more conservative,
we want you
more
to stop.
crackpot
We
talking
want you to
points,
stop
more
using
crackpot
a one
conspiracy
point.
theories,
We want you to
more,
stop
more
using.
conservative
We want you to stop
propaganda.
using. Can you please shut up? Okay, thank you.
More.
You
It was my. He
that
said I had the floor. You already went.
women talk over men. Women
Hey,
tend to talk over
You already
men.
Omega. Hey,
go
Omega.
ahead,
Anyhow,
Omega.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go ahead. Let him. We're gonna have the closing argument. I got to get out of here,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I appreciate
Let
it.
Go ahead,
homegirl
Omega.
talk.
Yeah,
Go
Let
ahead,
homegirl
Omega.
talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
go ahead.
slave
Trumper.
girl.
Yeah.
I'm not a trumper.
Hold on, hold on. I was
As
like,
I said,
Balanus, are you gonna say? You got your closing
Go
argument?
ahead,
Yeah.
Trumper.
No. You want him to have his closing argument? Or you got a
I'll
Sound,
closing
tell you
sound
what.
your
argument?
trumpet.
I'll extend
Sound,
that. I'll
go
extend that.
ahead and
Let
sound
me.
your trumpet.
I'll ask you a
Go ahead
question.
and blow
I'll
your
end it with a
trumpet.
question. I'm
Go
gonna
ahead and blow your
end with a
trumpet.
question.
Blow
I'm
your
gonna have to get
trumpet.
a.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
suck.
You have the
Let me
floor.
get him here.
Go ahead,
Go
and
ahead.
suck Gavin Newsom. Okay. Now, as I was saying, um, which party was it that demanded the public to lose their gas stoves, told the people that they must drive electric cars, and told people that you can't have a what was it? You cannot have a 2.2 liter toilet, but you have to have a 1.5 liter toilet, which inevitably makes you waste more water. Which party made those mandates? It's only one party that did all three mandates.
Keep going.
He asked
I'm
you a
asked the
question.
question.
All right. What we're gonna do? Let me go ahead and shut it down.
See, you
And
can't
things.
answer.
We're gonna go and shut it
Can't
down,
answer.
bro. Other than that,
Can't
I
answer because
appreciate
he can't
Belandis. I
admit that he's
appreciate you coming up. I'm
ashes.
gonna just say this to him. I appreciate you coming up. I appreciate you having an opinion. I appreciate the debate, and so forth. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. You're more welcome to come back on the show and things when I open up the mics and stuff. Not often I do. I usually say my piece on some stuff and then just be out of here because of the time constraints. But other than that, though,
Hey, let me say this. Let me say this one last thing. This has
go right
nothing to
ahead.
do with no
All right.
political.
Okay, go
I'm
right ahead.
telling. Have you
Go
been
ahead.
to Africa yet,
I have not. Be honest. I have not.
brother? I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
East Africa,
Mm-hmm.
the women, feminine, friendly, fit,
Mm-hmm.
cooperative,
Yep.
nice, and a lot of people don't know that Kenya was colonized by the British, so they speak a lot of English over there, and there are a lot of
Makes sense.
Christians.
Okay.
They call the white people over there Mzungus just because they were like missionaries and they came over there. So I'm telling you, man, go to East Africa, go to Rwanda. I'm telling you, man, it would be the experience is you would see this, you would see black women, and I love black women, period. So
Mm-hmm.
it, it's absolutely amazing over there. Visit some
Yeah.
when you on here, hit
Mm-hmm.
some of these channels up of these African women. Then you look in their profile, then it's say that they're Kenya, and ask them about
Mm-hmm.
I want to come to East Africa. They might be from Rwanda, Tanzania. Man, I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, brother, it's a like I've been going over there for the last 7 years,
That's what's up, man. You boy, ain't you
three
a
to four times
passport,
a
bro?
year.
You must be a passport, bro. Sounds
And
like to me.
this see,
Huh?
let me explain. And this what a
Sure.
lot of people ask me, and that's why I travel solo because
Yes. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask you this question, and let's see where
Sure.
are the most elite marathoners from? What country?
You said the elite. Go ahead. What was the other part?
Marathoners. What
Oh,
country are they from?
Kenya.
I'm an avid runner, so I
Kenya.
run over there with like
Mm-hmm.
the counties or the states that they're from, like Eldoret, Etienne.
Sure.
Most of the elite marathoners like Kipchoge, they're
Mm-hmm.
some of them are Calligans. So I run a lot over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm deep in the culture. So it's not this I'm
Mm-hmm.
going over there trying to smash everything. No, I
Sure.
talk to sisters over there, but I'm not going over there to just like fornicate and stuff like that. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
not and if you can't like keep up with me because I like to run, I go
Mm-hmm.
Kilimanjaro, Mount Kenya. I did
Right.
all those things. I go gorilla trekking, all this other
Right.
stuff,
Okay.
silverback gorillas in Uganda and stuff like that.
Yep. Yep.
And so that's what I do. I'm not on this like the women over there. I'm just going over to meet women. No, because they're over there. But I just like the culture, the different groups. Kenya, you have the people, the certain tribes or ethnic groups, the Titans, the Kalajans, the Kuyus, the
Right.
Luas, the Luyas, the
Mm-hmm.
Taita, the Swahili. So the
Mm-hmm.
Meru, man, it's the Swahilis. A lot of Swahilis over there, a lot of Ethiopians over there, man. You go over there, brother. I'm telling you, it would be a breathtaking experience for you. You would never won't regret it.
You know what? And I appreciate you bringing it up. I brought the passport bro up too, just for a reason, and I love how you clarified that because I don't
Yeah,
stand on the
absolutely.
nonsense that they're doing, and that's why I brought it up just to see where you are with that or whatever. But I,
No,
you
no,
know,
I'm
yeah,
not with that because
yes, yeah. Go
like
ahead.
one thing I tell people like
Hmm.
if you're not like I don't like I did it once. I went with people to East Africa. All they wanted
Yep.
to do was stay at the resort, stay hang on the beach. They didn't want to go trekking. They
Hmm.
didn't want to go running. They didn't want to go up to
Hmm.
explore. 'Cause when I'm out, I'm walking around like for hours on hours.
Right.
I'm hanging with people. I'm visiting different tribes, historical sites, Karua Forest, running and everything, trying to meet
Hmm.
these elite marathoners. So that's what I do. I love it over there. So I'm not this passport bro trying to post stuff. I'm the only stuff that when I film and do stuff. I got some stuff on my channel, but I mainly share with family members and
Gotcha.
friends. I
Right.
don't post it on YouTube.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I'm glad to hear all that, man, because I know I was gonna get down to the comment, and I know Omega, he's on the same thing. You know, he's been to places I never. I was almost gonna join the military. That don't count. You either are or not, right? That's cool. Now, the most I've been to was like Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah. I've been in Canada.
right, but I plan on going because, like I said, I love going to the motherland. I want to go to these places. I love to travel, and that's one of my on my to do list this year. Going to some of these places. I'm gonna start with Latin America first, since it's closer. It's not as expensive, and I got to work my way up. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man. But I enjoy having you on here, man. There is I have no what is it, animosity, anything like that. My door is always open, and that's for anybody else though too. You know, thank you for the likes and things like that.
Yeah,
This is called dialogue and communication. Go ahead, Omega, and then we're gonna shut it down.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't have anything against you, my man. Just to be honest with you, okay. I just find it rather interesting that you're not looking at the whole picture. Okay, I've looked at the whole picture, and when I looked at the whole picture, I'm like, I don't like the Republicans or the Democrats. I don't like the Republicans, but I absolutely dislike the Democrats because they bamboozled us for the past 60 years. Okay, they told it piss on our backs constantly and tell us we're sweating. Detroit didn't start getting back on track until we stopped voting for the Democrat candidates. That was what's his name again? He's running for governor now as an independent.
Oh, you talking about Mike
Uh,
Duggan? Mike Duggan.
yeah, Mike Duggan. Mike Duggan was a Republican, and he was the one who fixed Detroit. And see, the thing is, I'm not praising the Republicans. All I'm saying is this. Okay, I'm looking at both parties, and both parties have their own issues. Okay, thing is that I'm looking at my best interest as a whole, and my best interest because I'm in the process of formulating my own business right now. The Democrats want to tax me out of my eyeballs and put me out of business before I even start. Because they don't like the Second Amendment. They don't like they definitely don't want black people to own guns. In fact, you can look at any Democrat majority area. The places that have the least restrictions for gun ownership are places that are predominantly white, like New Hampshire and well, New Hampshire is no longer Democrat, but Vermont is. Vermont and New Hampshire were the two longest constitutional carry states there were. And it's only because Vermont is like 97% white. Well, I'm exaggerating. It's closer to 90. But still, the thing is that as soon as you get too many black people involved, all of a sudden, yeah, we need to put all these restrictions on guns. Okay. Then on top of which, they want to say that they want to sit back and say, well, uh, black people, as soon as they pick up a gun, they want to do a violence. I've been owning guns since almost my entire life, and I've never ever had the urge to shoot anybody out of anger. Okay, I'm more likely to de-escalate the situation. To be honest with you, so I mean, I'm sitting here. It's just like what we got here going on in Michigan, right? I live in Macomb County, and I can get my concealed pistol license within 2 weeks. Why is it that Wayne County, which is a predominantly black county, why is it that they wait until the last possible day they can legally give you your concealed pistol license that they do it? Oh, they want to keep black people from owning guns. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like, look, the Democrats, you guys are not are messing me around. Republicans messing me around too, but at least I don't have to. At least I don't have to wonder why the heck I'm getting taxed out of my eyeballs, or when I put in a form for put in a form for my uh, uh, concealed carry. Why is it taking a whole 45 days when the process can be done in 2 weeks? You see what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't have any enmity towards you. I'm just looking like, man, you're not really looking at the whole picture.
Okay. One last thing. Let me say this.
Yeah, go right
Then I'm
ahead.
done.
All right, cool.
I knew this officer. He was a black guy. He was cool as fuck. It's a couple times like when
Hmm.
I was young as heck. License got suspended because I had some tickets or I let somebody drive my car, so they suspended my license plates or whatever until the tickets got paid. They put some tolls on it, so he didn't stop me. So we would sit around and talk even after he retired. And this is what he said. He was like, "Yeah, the and we police officers, it's a brotherhood, but when you go home, you have to realize." They have these other brotherhoods, like the white police officers stay in contact with each other, hang out with each other, and they are in these little like groups where the black officers aren't affiliated with them. So it's just like these
I know
black
exactly what you're
Republicans.
talking about, but go ahead. I know exactly what you're talking
It's
about.
just like these black Republicans. So the white cops talk all this negative racist shit about the black cops, about the black individuals in the black communities that the white
Hmm.
cops are policing. So,
Hmm.
but they don't say that around the black people. So the
Right.
same white Republicans, the MAGAs, say all this. They have these black Republicans, Tim Scott. So then when they go home, when they were not around him, they take all this negative stuff about him, calling him a coon, laughing at him, making a mockery of him, making these characters about him, talking about him. And a lot of these stuff you see coming online about Tim Scott are coming from these so-called white Republicans, so these so-called people who are who they use this front that they love you, but really they really pro right. So,
Yeah,
hey
Hey,
and
brother,
you
hey,
want to
let me
know,
let me
and you want to
let
know,
me
I
and you
acknowledge.
want to know,
Hold on, guys, for one
yeah.
moment. Let me acknowledge the super chat. Happy Mac, man, I appreciate it. I finally saw it, man. Super chat, $1.99, man. You are my first, man. Man, shout out, boy. Look at that. Hold on,
I
wrong
sent you a super
sound
chat
bite.
yesterday.
Hold on. All right. Oh yeah, did you? Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I won't get that till the end of the month, but I appreciate you guys, man. I really
so
do, man. Showing your support.
the same with the Democratic Party. You
Ah,
have these white Democrats, they with these black Democrats. Then when they
oh
get
boy.
around themselves, they start talking negative all this other stuff. But with the black
Now,
Democrats, you ain't gonna have to worry about none of that racist bullshit and all this other bullshit. So that's all I had to say. So, but I don't. Hey, like
now
I
I
said,
don't now I'm going to say like this. I don't disagree with you about the whole police thing, but I'm going to explain something to you that's a complete oversight for you, right? Um, look at the voting consistency of the areas that have that problem. I can guarantee you that more than 70% of them are Democrat run police agencies. In fact, most of all of this stuff, like George Floyd and all of that stuff, these were all in Democrat areas. Okay. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. They completely overlook that fact. They think that it's everywhere, but it's not. Okay. In fact, the ones that have the same problem, I'm gonna get toss you a bone, right? The Republican areas that have the same problem, it's the same thing I said earlier in the story, okay? Or in this field. I said when you have too many of one party, you're gonna end up with corruption somewhere, right? And the 30% that have the same problem and they're Republican, guess what? Guess what? They're Republican supermajority. That means there's hardly any Democrats available. So what happens is this is that when you get too many of either one of the parties together, you're going to end up with some kind of fugazi stuff. Okay, especially with the police. Now, I have my own idea of how to deal with that problem, but the problem is that it makes way too much sense, and no agency is going to pick it up.
All right,
I'm gonna
guys.
say like this.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. I'm gonna let you say it
I'm
before
gonna
I.
say like this. Um, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Federal Motor Carrier Safety, right? FMCSR. The PSP, personal safety points system, is a insurance thing. It's a thing for if you can be bonded as a truck driver. So
Yeah,
what
your own
happens is
authority, your own trucking authority.
not only that, for even when it with a company, even with a company driver, because if you got like a score of 30, no company want to touch you. I know because I've been holding a zero as my PSP score for the past decade. Okay, so now here's the thing about that. Why don't we do the same thing to the police officers? Because they're bonded too. You see what I'm saying? They're bonded too. So make it harder to become a bonded officer. If you're not enforcing the law properly and you're actually um and genuinely offending or infringing upon the rights of the citizens, whether they're a criminal or not, okay, you get points. And the more egregious the violation, the more points. As soon as you hit about 40 points, you're gonna be stuck on a desk job. If you get more than 50 points, you're off the force, and those points stay.
Okay. Yeah. One last thing about this. This is the absolute last thing I'm gonna say.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
you know when you
Mhm.
said that like the Democratic Party was like hard on crime with the crime bill, lock you up and throw away the key because of the war on drugs or whatever. The Clinton the 92 94 crime bill, Joe Biden. Which president said that convicted drug dealers in America should have the death penalty?
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah, Trump's actually said that, and I
Yep,
disagree with it.
yep.
So you painted me with a broad brush, not knowing what my position is. That's what I've
No,
been
no,
telling
I
you the
wasn't saying
entire
that you
time.
agree with it. I just said who said it because, like I
Trump.
said, now he aligns himself with the Republican Party, and
And he
and the
he was a
Republican
Democrat.
Party. No, he said
Like,
this as he was running for president or he was the president.
well, you know what? Here's the thing, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just going to go ahead and go along with you with this one, right? No, I don't disagree with you. It was a stupid thing for him to have said. Okay, I personally, if it was me in that position, I'd say, okay, if you're selling drugs or whatever, or engaging in violence in the drug trade, I will put you under the jail. You're going to beg to get out of it. Okay, I'm not going to give you death penalty. In fact, I'm actually anti-death
Whoops.
penalty
Sorry
myself.
about that.
I'm actually anti-death penalty. In fact, I'm anti-abortion and anti-death penalty. I believe that people should live. But then again, also, I'm a little more how would you say? I'm a little more mean with it. If you're going to get life in prison for murder, right? If you're going to get life in prison for murder, guess what? You're going to be a product of the system. So in other words, you're going to get whatever the system gives to you and you're going to live through it. You're just not going to like it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's too comfortable now. They have the little personal radios. They have TVs. They have all this commissary, big cookies,
So
chips, making
so
all this other
now,
stuff.
exactly. So we have something we agree on. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
absolutely.
The
But
the
I'm
the, the,
for the
thi-
death
the thing
penalty
is,
though. I'm 100% for the death penalty.
okay. Let me ask you this, just on a amicable term here, right? Okay. What benefit? Now, okay, yeah, I got you.
Okay, okay.
What benefit is it to kill a criminal who's already incapacitated?
You talking
They
about
can't
incapacity? Like he's locked up
exactly. What's the
and
point?
he can't.
He can't do anything else. What's the point?
It makes me, and I know this is selfish. I want that person, and I don't believe in something quick and necessary, like where the person has to go to sleep. It,
But you got
it
you
makes
got
me
the
feel.
you have the seventh, was it the Seventh Amendment? You have the against cruel and unusual punishment, so that's unconstitutional. But continue.
Yeah, I know, but I think that person, you took a life. I can, I don't listen to like watch videos of people who are on death row, the torment and the hell they're experiencing. It doesn't compare to the hell they inflicted upon the victims, but to see some of them suffering, like trying their hardest to stay alive, like the victim, that the unnecessary pain he caused the victim into the family. To me, and I'm being honest, it's justice. I know it's
I
strange. I know it's. I want to see
I
them
don't.
suffer.
Okay, here,
Okay, guys,
yeah,
I'm going to have to
Okay, you
shut it
done. All
down.
right.
All
Thanks,
right,
brother.
yeah.
hey man, it's been a pleasure, man, having you on, and I want you to come back. I'm serious. I'm not being cynical. I love your take Africa, the motherland, and all that. I want to. In fact, we're gonna do a special show about the travel thing, though. So as well, though, too, because we know we talk about politics mostly, but we don't always have to do it, though. My brother, and everybody else in this room, I appreciate you. White, black, other, my brother, you know what I'm saying? I'm your brother, but I appreciate you, though. I really do, Yep. All right, I'm going to have to shut it down, though. Are you guys, I keep asking you your final say, You got
I'm
anything?
good.
Okay. How about you, Black Landers? How about you? You got anything to say to the people out in the crowd? Anything? You got the floor, sir. I'm going to shut it down after you. Oh, Black Land. Oh, he left. Okay.
He
All right.
left. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So, yeah, I appreciate you as well, Omega Man. I'm going to holler at you offline or whatever,
Yeah.
I got to get out here and get
Well,
it.
I'm about to go to sleep because
Yeah, go to
I gotta
sleep.
be.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
go to sleep. Yeah.
I gotta be up at 3 a.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, you got to drive that home. I got to drive myself. I've been driving as well. All right, though, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they tried to send me a ride out there to Pittsburgh, man. Oh, my goodness. 4.5 hours one way. No. I'm
Oh
good
man.
on that one, though. You don't want to know
And,
what the money
and then
payout is.
and then deadhead and back you're wasting money.
Oh, yeah, that's why I didn't do it. You already know it is. All right, though, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, I appreciate you all for listening to us. It was a nice debate and things, and we're going to have many more of them. I'm going to start changing it up a little bit. But other than that, remember the channel, share it with your family and friends, though. I'm your brother, you know what I'm saying? Whether if I wear a MAGA cap, I'm still your brother, So, yeah, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time, though. Don't forget to subscribe, and I know some of you guys did. I wish there's a way that I can see that they subscribe. I can see the likes and stuff and dislikes, but I just can't see the subscribe. If I didn't acknowledge you for subscribing, don't mean that because I don't really know until afterwards. But again, I appreciate you all, and you guys have a wonderful night. We're going to shut it down. Stay safe, stay strong, and so forth. And I got to do this. I got to play the Star Spangled Banner on my way out. But other than that, man, you guys, we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna play the Star Spangled Banner. Where my thing at? All right, yep. And Star Spangled Banner. Let me go ahead and click because they wouldn't be able to hear it. Okay, there we go. We're gonna get the Star Spangled Banner. Copyright free. All right, you gotta throw that out for YouTube. All right. But I appreciate you guys. All right, Omega Man, and I'm gonna talk to you probably tomorrow then, or sometime tomorrow. Sounds good.
Yep. I'll holler at you tomorrow.
All right, I'll holler. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. Let me do this first. Play the American. Let me do this here, and got that queued up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
appreciate you guys, man. I said, man, I'm gonna show the American anthem, boy. I mean, the Star Spangled Banner, that is. But other than that, though, you guys, man, I appreciate you for coming on here. We're gonna do it again and things. You heard Omega, and you heard Black Belandis, you know, and things. So hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he's more welcome to come back on the show, and you guys as well. Other than that, I got to go and shut it down. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the super chats as well, too. And I'm sure there's going to be many more, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. Thank you for the love, and I respect you all. And let's have love for one another. Shouldn't matter if I wear a red hat or a blue. Let's learn to love each other, you know? Let's not be divided. Peace and chicken grease. I see you guys tomorrow. All right, hopefully. And I am out. All right.